can't touch him. You don't really have the stun to jump him. And now he's won this fight. He's got his Aghanim Scepter.
22 minutes, yeah.
You know, people don't see this Winter Wyvern core much. But Aghanim Scepter got one of the biggest buffs last patch. Now it gives you 25% move speed. It has great synergy with his booster travel. He's going to be zooming around and untouchable, constantly applying the slow, the percent damage and debuff as it refreshes with the Aghanims. And I don't know how Bristleback or Magnus really walk into fights. They have to kill Winter Wyvern in order to take any sort of engagement against Tundra.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all on Thompson, right? He's the agile hero that can look to make those jumps to get to the back lines. They're coming in with a Moonlight Shadow. They're prepared with the walls, but straight away the curse from 9 comes out. Holds back the offensive here from Thompson. And Seb, they'll still look to get the jump in with the RP. Only going to catch Snaking, though. 9 able to step out to the side in time. Whilst the curse doesn't find anything, neither, of course, does the RP. A couple of ults from both sides. Not achieving much more than a kill on Snaking. 9 still, in fact, hovering around here. He's got Fada with the setup. Spike Carapace catching Seb off guard here as the cleave gets reflected, and Seb,
damage.
He's gone. It's too much here. 9 slowly beating down upon him from pretty much an entire screen away there with the reach that this Wyvern has.
So that's a 2,000 HP hero with Vanguard. And Winter Wyvern, he killed him in like 3 seconds. Like his entire, like the last bit is slower, but he just does so much damage right now. And it's not even just, he has a Broodmother to frontline for him, a Potter multi to sort of hide him away, and as I said earlier, he is going for that Silver's Edge.
He's ready to go again.
As well.
Yep, Saxa getting caught out by Fada. I'll tell you what, they're certainly having struggles with this Nyx Assassin. I mean, sure, Fada's died quite a few times, but a lot of the kills that Tundra's been getting here has been Fada just setting up things, and OG getting caught time and time again off guard by Fada's positioning.
Yeah, a lot of his deaths is just playing Nyx Assassin. Every time you see a Nyx, he'll always have double digits death, but the impact of this hero has always been so high in all these qualifiers. They smoke up on OG though. They're tired of this little bug.
They want Fada. They really do. They start to lead in onto him. Snaky's going to draw their attention away from it. See if Thompson can come in to finish the kill. He's got the Remnant grab onto Fada. And they'll finally be able to get there. Oh, maybe not. Have they got any further detection? Oh, Fada. They'll step back into the Remnant. But they actually don't on the front of them. They had the sentry down, but nothing else to keep the vision of Fada. Fada's able to walk away there. They pretty much have 4 members of OG up here trying to get a kill, get a catch onto Tundra. They don't get anything at all as Tundra continue to get away with being more efficient across the map. Skeeter now getting huge amounts of space down bottom after a bit of a rough start. A couple of fights that he turned up to a little too early. His game's completely recovered, sitting solidly at the top of the net worth now, taking over that top spot from Samael. And Tundra just increasing this advantage. OG's got a hit with something, but Thompson, he's been caught again. Thompson's out, Snaking and 9 getting the job done.
So yesterday, I learned that Chen was broken, apparently. When OG played it twice against Nigma, it looked absolutely fantastic. I don't know what it did, but they won the games. This game, honestly, Winter Wyvern looks like a completely top-tier hero. I don't know if it's because his lane was good, maybe Thompson had to take the Q at level 1, but 9 has done so much this game. He even has like this night vision. Arctic Burn gives you night vision, he has a night vision talent, so you can always see your opponents, and he's just doing so much damage. He sets up with a Winter's Curse into an arrow, he's all across the map with travels, and oh, they're catching Noto. Like, Tundra, they're just outplaying OG on the map. They have this wave shove with the Luna illusions and Broodmother summons, and despite Noto going for this very fast recall shard, they're getting picked off everywhere because they can't control their lanes. They don't have enough information and vision.
I know, it's so.
Look, I mean, look at this. One hit on Saxa. Look how much damage he takes.
Look at this. That health just ticked down there.
He's at 25% HP from 2 hits from Winter Wyvern.
Oh, here we go, top. They've found Fada. Fada found them. He'll turn with a stun. This time they'll kill him off. Fada's not getting away with that one.
Good punish by OG there. I mean, most of Fada's deaths have been for the boys, but if you show a lot of heroes bottom, you probably can't push forward in the enemy jungle like that. He does scout out the enemy ward.
Looking for snare as well, but not quite enough, and now nine's up here.
A couple times there from Thompson where I feel like he's missed out on kills because he's not carrying dust versus the bottom Nyx.
I mean, you're not wrong. It certainly happened. It has certainly happened. They've got to be careful up in 9. It's got the curse ready to go. Arcane Rune as well.
And he saw Magnus there with his night vision. Magnus can't see him, but he's just flying around in these trees. how do you catch this guy?
Yeah,
Look at him.
This sort of, I mean, you've got to get some tinker wards out or something. I don't know how you're going to keep eyes on 9 just sneaking around the way he is. He will now show himself to grab the creep wave. A cute little curse is used to try and get out of there, and he's away. The remnant not quite at the right angle to grab him and stop him from TPing out. As 9 living on the edge, but he does do exactly that. He lives, he's out. He's back in the action. 33 getting chased down. Seb looking for the skewer back, won't quite be able to get the scoop on 33 though. It's 33 steps to the side. OG not able to get a grab on any of the members of Tundra. Tundra are able to regroup safely underneath the tower. They'll even pop a smoke here, maybe seeing if they can get a jump back on OG.
Did they understand that they have bottom lane pushing, they have mid lane pushing? OG is going to have to split up here. They do have the Caudal recall. So the split up means a little bit less, and I think they realize that they don't want to go too far just because of Caudal's recall. Also, even on the Bristleback, who has, he's a traditionally very tanky hero. He has Bristleback, he has Hood and Vanguard. One hit from 9 did about a quarter of his HP in that fight. It's a lot of damage, and now he's picked up the level 20 talent. He's slowing them for 52% from Arctic Burn and 25% from Witch's Blade. So you're moving at like 130 move speed when you play versus Winter Wyvern. You can never touch him.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to get on top of 9. Topson, he's got to start the fight on him, but the question is, even if Topson gets the grab on him, whether Topson really does anywhere near enough damage to take 9 out on his own. He's got to have some quick follow-up, and that's hard to do with the heroes that OG has. 9 having a lot of space to play his game, and we're seeing it so far. 5-1 and 6 on the mid Winter Wyvern. Looking very strong.
So from OG's perspective, if they can jump Winter Wyvern... Oh, Fadas, he's breaking another smoke here.
Another backup, there's an arrow in onto Samael. Start to see 9 poking in on Samael. Killed off Fada. Samael down to half HP, and Skeeter straight in with the Eclipse. Samael's got to step up to the high ground. Topson's in with the Astral Steps onto Snake King, but the Cold Embrace keeps the Mirana safe. Topson's having to back out for the remainder of this BKB. Over on the high ground here, 33 keeping eyes on Samael. Tundra, they're trying to close in on this. OG attempting to back off Seb. He's going to get back in with the 2-man RP. Light Strike Ray down onto the 2 cores. The catch is there. Seb with the RP. Is it enough to turn it around though? Skeeter's still able to get the BKB off, and it's still OG that's having to run. So Mail goes down. Will buy back on the Bristle. There's Topson. He's getting low, jumping back in aggressively with the Dissimulate to kill off the Spider. Seb, he's going to be off the mark with the Skewer. Won't be able to get the catch onto Weaver 33 and Snaking. As Snaking's able to leap over the walls of the Roche Pit back to safety. Buyback comes out from 9 with Roche up. Tundra, they want to make sure that OG do not have the space to take this Samael. He's got to be careful. He brought back for this. They've got to keep their Bristleback safe. There's already with the hits of the Arctic Burn. Samael down to half HP. The curse comes out to hold them back, giving them the space to focus on towards Topson. Topson with the Stimulate jumps over to the side, but the Lucid Beam comes out. Topson goes down. There'll be a buyback here from No Tail. Seb's out. Seb's got a buyback as well. It's a triple kill from 9. The damage from this Wyvern is too much for OG. Samael trying to run. The stun's there from Fada. Samael will fall. That's a dieback on the Bristle. Out of the game for nearly 2 minutes. OG will be able to clean up 33 and Fada in return. But they've got the buybacks. OG's 2 cores, Topson and Samael, they do not. Tundra's back in with 5. OG's only got 3 to play with.
Look at 9. He's chasing down Seb.
Oh yeah, they just cannot get anywhere close to this Wyvern. Seb, screwing out back to safety. Snaking, chasing them back to their base. Giving all the space that Tundra needs to be able to step into this pit and claim this big second Roshan for themselves, get themselves the Aegis, Cheese, and Shard, with OG unable to do anything about it.
So 9 bought back, and I think that means they're going to give him the Aegis. But I actually think Luna should take this Aegis anyways. Okay, so they do give it to Luna, because I think Luna's the one who's going to hit the high ground. 9, because he used that buyback, it just means he has to play a little bit more safe. Last fight, we saw this amazing RP come up from Seb. It caught both the 1 position and 2 position of Tundra out, but it just wasn't enough. 9 popped that buyback, and then there's nothing left to jump him. Topson died, the RP was expended, and I don't know how much damage he did during that fight, but it had to be like in the mid-thousands.
So what the move's going to be from Tundra now. They've got the just ready to go. Skeeter very close also to the Satanic mid. Topson's been caught out. He's straight in and he's gone. He's out of the game. No buyback on Topson. Once again, just being caught out by these stuns from Tundra, Snaking, and Fada each and every time. Making Topson have a pretty rough one here. Another death on the Void Spirit, and that will give Tundra the space to take a fair few of these tier 2s, if not all of them, away from OG.
But OG, they sort of also identified the problem in their team fight. You can see Seb, he's gone for an unusual item in the Aether Lens. He actually does this a lot in pubs, but you don't see it much from other Magnus players. He just wants to play solely for the skewer. That extra 250 range, 225 range, getting them into your tier 4s and taking the best fight that you can. Oh, Skitter!
Skitter! My goodness, nearly being able to 100 to 0 him, but not quite able to do so. 9 just comes in for the sidelines, curse it down, catches No-Tail, catches Saxa. That's the 2 supports out, no buybacks available. Sure, they brought down Skeeter once, but this was part of the plan for Tundra. It's why they gave him the Aegis. He's able to frontline it in, head over towards Samael. Is 4 dead. Samael just getting absolutely hammered down by the Eclipse and the damage from 9. As that's a team wipe here. Tundra, they've got the space to push in onto this top racks now. Fortification will come out, but OG, they'll have Thompson back up in 5 seconds, but everybody else out for nearly a minute. No buybacks available, and Tundra, they know it. Straight over to the tier 4s. GG is called. Nothing to be done here by OG as Tundra will take this game 1 with such spectacular stuff as the 9 Midwinter Wyvern, as they're going to be pretty happy with this one. Tundra pretty much out creativitying the creativity you usually expect from OG here, Howie.
Yeah, and yesterday, when I watched OG games, I had to ask if Chen was broken. But this game, honestly, like Winter Wyvern, as you already mentioned, 9, what happened that game? How much damage did he do? He did 34k damage when the Nyx highest on his team was 17k. Yeah. He did over double the Nyx hero, and it's not like he was just farming. He was active everywhere. Every time he pokes an OG hero, they basically had to go back to base. He just did so much, and my goodness, that is terrifying.
I mean, for OG, after this game 1, what do you think the reaction is going to be like? How do you stop this from happening? I mean, are there sort of better heroes, better ways to draft to not allow a hero like the Wyvern to come into the mid and have the impact that it did have here, like things that they were missing this time? Or is this a case where you do have to look at that sort of performance and say, well, we just don't want to play against that?
Well, you definitely should be scared of 9's Winter Wyvern, but I don't want them to overreact. You should feel like, okay, we had 2 strength cores on the side lane, and Void Spirit sort of had an unfortunate mid lane. If we had different heroes, like maybe this hero isn't as strong as you think, it's very easy to over-index on a loss and just be really results-oriented, but OG has always been good at identifying what was the real problems in the game, and maybe they'll just like, oh, maybe we should just beat this hero next time.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they're indeed able to pick themselves up coming into game 2. As for game 1 of this best of 3, Tundra, they come in hitting hard. They'll start this series off with the advantage. 1 up at the moment to Tundra.
Okay, the other Axe carries that OG's gone for, that I have not yet picked up for in terms of which heroes they like when they have the Alchemist, is Medusa. They give her early Axe. We've seen during the DPC season also the Monkey King and Void Spirit attempted, which are also all still in the pool.
The Ember too.
They go for Lash.
The Ember as well. Yeah.
They pre-planned the Lash Oracle. The Lash Oracle is one of the strongest Oracle combinations with like Huskar and DP, and they are gonna last pick the Thompson here. I'm pretty sure. The Thompson doesn't play Lash Rock. Like I literally never saw him play Lash. This is a male hero, and Alchemist is Seb.
Plays Oracle. Doesn't he?
He does play the Oracle, but I don't think we'll go that far.
Not with the new Scepter, unfortunately.
I'm just curious, like, what is the mid hero that really...
We got Ember, Tinker, and Zeus, right? They all have really good
Yeah, but he doesn't play Tinker. He doesn't play Tinker.
Well,
and
we don't think.
No, I mean...
It's such a miracle hero. Shouldn't he play Tinker?
A Miracle plays Tinker, not Thompson.
Play?
Miracle does play, but Thompson, no. Thompson, he's a Zeus specialist, and they need, like... They still need the Arcs here. What does Lash? I mean, I kind of know what Lash
should play it too, guys. All right, I'm just saying. Yeah, maybe Thompson, I guess, since he is the one playing in this game, will be the one we'll talk about. It's a pretty good idea.
We got a Tidehunter coming out, so that will be most likely our 33 hero. And that reminded me, for some reason, Tide and TA are linked in my mind together. Crazy things. But the TA and the Invoker are both still in the pool. We saw them banned out very early on. So for both of these mids, heroes that they really like. So both 9 and Thompson get their pick. Last overall pick goes the way of OG. So they get a little bit of an edge there, if I'm calculating correctly.
Mm-hmm. I think it should be the Zeus ban from the Tundra, and the other ban I mean, I'm seeing the Dora buff says it's Arc Warden. Arc Warden. I'm feeling the Arc Warden for Thompson.
You want
Depends on what they pick mid for 9. Like that's gonna give a lot of info for the OG. Like
All right, so let's say that you're thinking about that Arc Warden. What should 9 take to try and like dissuade Thompson from going that route?
They need something to like help on backlines, like catching these oracles and lions. So they might think of like Void Spirit themselves, or like something that's gonna follow up on a Ravage and just kill. I mean, there's Lion, and you're like, oh, I don't want to pick a Spirit into Lion, but there's Abaddon. Like you have this margin of error where you get stunned, he gets removed, you pop your Dissimulate or whatever, and then you still do your job. Or there's like a counter Ravage that makes you live through this first disables. So I think they will go for a Void Spirit on Tundra. It's very 9 special hero. Another one of many of them.
The silence is so good this game too.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Just get the eggs and kill the Oracle and Lion, and then the fight is gonna play itself out.
Well, they ban out the Pugna and the Pango as the last 2 bans for Tundra, and we'll see what OG chooses to remove, because if they came to the same conclusion as you, obviously we'll see that Void Spirit removed. But they're taking their time, and they still have plenty of time. OG is definitely one of the faster drafting teams, meaning they've got a lot of bonus time left at the end to think about what they're going to do with their last ban and their last pick.
They ban the pack. It's the same idea, and it might be even more signature for now in the pack. And it's a very, very annoying hero to deal with. And yeah, I know Arc Warden has a good matchup on pack a bit, so that might mean that
you still believe in it.
I really don't. They kind of need a Terrorblade solution. This Lash is not good enough. It helps, but they still need Ember, Zeus, or Arc Warden. Depends. There's still an Ember, the Thompson signature.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes
Razor.
the Razor.
Dead. So that's not a leading stun though. That's kind of interesting. It does follow up well on Ravage, but that means that they don't really have arrow setup other than like Ravage.
Snake needs no setup.
Yeah, the good Mirana players don't need it. Is the thing
He's
with
not
the
even an
Razor?
arrow Mirana, dude. He's to steal your camps, Mirana. That's all he does.
The Razor 23 is very hard to counter. Razor is one of the hardest heroes to counter mid. Like what counters Razor? Like Sniper and Queen of Pain. These heroes are not popular. So like now you're in this position where you need to counter a Terrorblade to win the game, but you cannot pick a hero that's gonna get dumpster on Razor. Then you're not gonna have an impact anyway. So it doesn't matter that your hero is good against Terrorblade. So the Tundra are putting themselves in a very good position here. The draft, I really like it.
And up 1 game. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so is Arc Warden playable though? You look at this like it looks pickable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Milan with the foresight. Love it.
One in the book.
That means you have to go for them now. That is the rule. I hope you're
Yes,
aware.
that is kind of the rule. Do you feel like this Arc Warden is still good enough for them to take this game then, force a 3rd game out?
It's really hard to tell. If I knew what Lash Aghanim's do, I could say, but otherwise I think I need to go with Tundra this game. Like 3-3, it's hard to bet against 3-3 Tidehunter and Skitter Terrorblade. Yeah.
And Snake King Mirana. I mean, this would be
Snake
5 games in a row. Four wins straight. Snake King Mirana.
He watched all my replays, man. I can tell.
Like, damn, they are definitely feeling it. Oh man, they actually have like all their signature heroes here. This is great, except for Razor. Razor's whatever, but
everybody plays Razor. I mean, Skeeter. This will be Skeeter's 4th game of Terrorblade also, and the Razor. Yeah, Razor's. Yeah. No.
All right, I'm not jumping ship. I'll stick with OG. I believe in the OG prep. They've got their Alchemist. It's a strat for a reason. Soxa is just gonna, get perfect hexes the entire game, and they'll just win. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I think we wouldn't be opposed to that. It means we will get a 3rd game to this series, but let's find out what's going to happen. We're finding out together with OD Pixel and AUI.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 between Tundra and OG. And indeed, as Tread says, we're getting We're getting pretty much both teams' bread and butter here, Owie. So sort of what's your read from these two drafts that we've got? Not too many surprises, really, when it comes to who's playing what. A lot of very familiar heroes.
Yeah, I think both teams sort of knew exactly what was going to happen in this draft, and I always love when that happens because it means that it's sort of a clash of ideas between both teams. If you go in and both of you are picking your best stuff, knowing what the opponent's going to pick, you're saying your ideas are specifically better about the game than theirs are. And I think that's what's going to happen this game. We'll see who has the better ideas, who is left, who is right.
I mean, and in your mind, looking at this, whose idea do you prefer?
I personally prefer Tundra's idea here, actually. I don't think that the Aghanims from Alchemist has as high impact on the heroes from OG. Maybe the Arc Warden one is really good. It basically doubles your Spark Wraith, which I've never seen it, which is why I can't say, but I could imagine that being really strong, being hard to run into, and then you just you put a lot of Spark Wraiths, you farm them out with Alchemist, and you eventually outscale them, or something like that. I also want to mention, the draft was really cool this game, because there's just a lot of sort of prophylactic picks where you know they're going to pick Mirana, so you pick Alchemist, and then you know they're going to pick Terrorblade, so you pick Lion with it, right? It's like preempting the move. And you saw sort of this individual metagame in this game specifically, where everyone knew who each other was going to pick, and they still picked the heroes into it.
I mean, and you talk about sort of the Ags potential for Thompson. I mean, the Ags Leshrac, is that not, do you think, what they're looking towards as maybe an idea to easily, deal the damage rather early on with the amp up that Nihilism is going to provide against some of these cores, like a Terrorblade who's not really going to want to have a BKB too early in the game?
I could see it working, actually, specifically as you mentioned versus Terrorblade. He won't want to buy BKB, and I think it does turn Leshrac. Does it turn Leshrac ethereal? I don't know if it does. I've never actually bought the item because it's not something I've personally explored.
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because it's turning everyone around your ethereal.
Yeah, but they can remove it with the Abaddon shield is the thing.
That's true. Actually, that is, well, yeah. Yeah, that is true, actually. Fada's moves could be pretty big this game against that. So if indeed it is about an Axe Rush on the Lesh, yeah, Tundra do have a way to deal with that. You're absolutely right.
So I just don't know again. Yeah. It's not something I have enough info to confidently say. I would say it's probably best on the Arc Warden, but so far they've given all the Aghanims to Sumail, just sort of accelerated his gameplay. What I've usually liked from OG, how they use the Alchemist, is they always accelerate their carry with it. I don't feel that Leshrac really accelerates his game in the same way a Monkey Kings or a Drow Rangers would.
No, well, we'll see what sort of idea they have got going for the Mirror OG. As we say, definitely it's going to be played into some of Tundra's finest in terms of heroes that they've just been winning consistently with. That big one being the Skeeter Terrorblade. OG's got to have a solid answer to it.
In bot lane, Skitter, he's picked this Terrorblade specifically versus Alchemist because of Acid Spray. He has 9 armor right now. Acid Spray does way less than it did. Last time OG was playing this, they played it versus Spectre and an Axe against a Viking. It had huge impact in the lane. I would say it won both its lanes there. I don't think it's going to be the same versus Terrorblade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And when you sort of look towards the two big cores of both sides, how does the timings of an Arc Warden clash or compare with that you expect to reach as a Terrorblade? Like, what sort of different portions of the game are we going to see these heroes, hit each other the hardest?
So this was a huge matchup during the KL Major. It was the 3 carries there were Terrorblade, Arc Warden, and Morphling. And what happened in that major was actually people would start running Terrorblade mid, it was Ramses and Arteezy specifically, against Arc Warden. And you would actually win that matchup because you had illusions to tank Arc Warden spells and you just out CS him with meta. They didn't go to opt for that for Tundra this game, but what that sort of taught me, that meta, was that Terrorblade does have a tempo advantage against Arc Warden if you can have a really good lane. I do think he's going to have that this game, so if he can get something like Dragonlance, SMY, some BKB, even a Blink Dagger at some point, we could see Tundra going for a lot of tempo and trying to end this game.
Absolutely, yeah. And for 6, what have we got?
Sorry, I just clicked on 3-3. I think he started no items into a Helm of Iron Will Rush.
And he's gotten away with it. I'll tell you what,
so
11 CS.
He's going to go for Dominator first, which is really good because it allows him to push Leshrac out of lane. I was thinking at the start of this game that I'm a bit worried because Leshrac should have a good timing against Tidehunter. Once you hit 6 or even level 5 with the Edict, you can push him out of lane and Tidehunter doesn't really have any counterplay. However, the Helmet of Detonator completely nullifies it because the armor works against Edict, which is a huge deal, and that shot can't stand against the creep. This is a really cool idea coming out from 33. He always has some fresh ideas about Dota. I love it.
I mean, he absolutely does. We saw it in the other series again, the other day against Liquid, right? Again, where they're 11k down. He was also playing the Tide. He goes for the Aghanims first time, plays a huge part in turning it around, holding from the high ground, and as you say here, once again, doing something a little different that could have pretty big impact quite early on in this match.
And I think the cool thing about it is just how pre-thought and how well thought out the ideas are. In that Tidehunter game that you mentioned, he went 4-1-4. So he is thinking about that build since level 8. Like, that's so much earlier in the game than what you would expect. And it ends up... I honestly think that build ended up winning them the game in the end. Like, it stalled so much. I'm curious to see how this helm will work as well, because he is having a pretty good lane, even with Mirana sort of roaming to the enemy jungle here.
No, absolutely is. And to tell you, he's not having a pretty good lane. Bottom lane, 7 Saxa. They are getting bullied pretty heavily by Fada. Fada continues to just sort of run the two of them out of the lane. They're having to pop a lot of regen. Saxa having to take the walk back to base. As Fada doing an excellent job of just securing Skeeter all the space in the world. There's not going to be any early pressure on this Terrorblade. Same to be said for Sumail. Both side lane position ones getting good farm right now. The mid matchup, 22 for 7 on 9 against the 15 for 1 for Thompson. They might have him actually this time. Skeeter with the Metamorphosis, a few hits. You get another one in. They look at a dive. Miscalling the shield, not enough. Skeeter's trying to cut through the trees to find him. Won't be able to get the vision though. So Seb will live. Very low on the regen. Sax has come back into the lane, has brought a salve with him. So we'll be able to top Seb back up. So Seb can remain down here.
I also want to mention that 9 is having a fantastic lane versus Arcord in the middle. There's even a Marauder roaming on him here.
Ooh, Thompson having to juke the arrow. We'll keep him alive. I say that. Snaking's in, leaping forward. He's looking for Thompson. Needs a couple more hits though. Thompson starting to salve up, sneaking around the tree line. Snaking, he's not going to have enough damage in the tank to finish him off. Still has one leap left to try and break away from the two of them. But Thompson, he's got the Flux skilled, and they've got the nuke damage with the Purifying Flames. They will be able to punish Snaking for diving in deep. And of course, at the same time, down bottom, OG, they heal up, they're able to strike back, and they do manage to get farther out of the lane.
Yeah, and in both lanes, the Tundra support sort of going down. Both in lanes that they're already winning. They're going for Seb here, though.
They'll
they pop on the shield.
The shield damage from Fada, it blows him up. Saxa will turn with the Hex. See if they can run him down.
They can run him down, they have boots.
They've got a shield as well if they want to look to dive the tower, and they do. Skeeter shielded up by Fada, they're in. And Tundra, they'll hit back just as hard, getting the revenge there for losing Fada earlier in the matchup.
I was going to say that it's a huge deal to get kills in lanes where you're losing, but Tundra immediately strike back, and they're not done yet. They're going on to mid here.
Yeah, this aggression here. Straight on to Thompson. Thompson continues to have No Tail stand by his side. Fada's swinging over. They'll get in, they'll land the slow here with the reach of the field. They'll take out Thompson, they'll take out No Tail. Double kill for 9 in the mid lane. As Tundra, already just 5 minutes in, making huge moves across the map. They're at a 2k lead. OG's not ready for this pace.
And this is a completely different answer than what we saw from Viking against OG's Alchemist. In that series, Alchemist was free farming. This one, Skitter, I mean, it's not like Alchemist is getting full zone from the lane or something, but he's almost doubling up.
Nine.
Oh, 9.
He gets another one, enough mana with the one charge to get another plasma field off. I mean, 9 already starting off 6 minutes in, 3 kills here for the mid lane Razor.
He's really beasting it, and Razor is actually a hero that can take over the game. We were talking about this Terrorblade versus Arcwater matchup, but something that completely breaks that is if Aghanim's BKB Refresher Razor just runs in at the Arc Warden. There's nothing to prevent Arc Warden from getting God on. Even Oracle save. Oh my god. He just solo killed him, or?
No, Snake's in. He has the illusion on him.
Okay, his illusion. Okay, that's great.
I mean, yeah, Skeeter picking up kills whilst he's chilling, hitting the creeps in the lane, thanks to that illusion being sent over to back up Snaking's move. I mean, this is looking pretty rough out. We're 7 minutes in. They're at a 3k lead as Tundra, they're popping off big time very quickly to start with Thompson mid. He's trying to TP out. Have they got enough damage? They don't. Thompson will manage to get his main self back to the base. And still, it's back to the base. It's going to be time off the map for Thompson as Thompson continues to have a slow start. Samael, he's come over with the rotation. See if he has enough damage to take down 9. He doesn't! A terrible rotation there from Samael will cost him his life. 9 gets another kill. No-Tail's running up to the high ground. 9, he's going to look to chase this down. 33 turns with the helm of the Don Wildwing Ripper to rip No-Tail's life away from him.
Have you ever seen those videos of like a Ogre Magi pretending to be a neutral creep? and then he stuns the enemy when they come to farm it, because that's what 3-3 just did with the Swallowing Ripper. It was just in the jungle. It's pulling random ways away from OG. Last time OG played Leshrac and Alchemist, they had like 4 times 3 stacks in their jungle for them to accelerate. But Tundra, they're just playing at such a high pace that OG supports aren't able to do this. They're running them over on the map.
They really are. And there's a lot of supports to run over with sort of the start that they're having on the Alk and the Arc Ward, and they've got kind of 4 supports going at the moment, OG. They're falling behind big time.
Ooh, I just thought Tidehunter, I think part of what he can do with his creep as well is he can just stack ancients from himself. I think it's something 3-3 would do. And it's they're Moonlight Shadowed onto Thompson here, just taking over the enemy triangle.
I mean, where are OG going to get the space to get their farm on these cores now?
You have to kill the Tundra heroes. If you don't kill them, they're going to run at you too much. And here they go. They're going on to Skitter here. Do they have damage though?
Let's see. Skitter. He has got enough for the 1 charge and a Sunder. See if he gets it off. One's popped. And it's not actually quite got enough mana for the Sunder as of yet. We'll step to the side. And he's going to be fine. Saxa taking down to the damage of the urn. The illusions are out. Skeeter, he's going to be able to pick up a kill on Saxa. Samael at the same time dying to 9. Was that a solo kill by 9 in the mid lane with the help of the Dark Troll Summoner? In fact, from the Helm of the Dom that 33's playing with from across the map. I mean, this is just a pure highlight reel for Tundra.
Oh my god. The plays they're making are so cool too. Like who Leshrac versus Razor, if he runs at you, you know, you can TP out, he has no cancel. But 3-3, he's just adding on to his teammates' play. Suddenly, there's 1 creep mid. It changes the dynamic of the matchup, and Tundra, they're putting pressure on all 3 lanes right now.
OG CPing in for the defense in mid, and they've got the 3 of them. They've got to be careful with Samael, though. Samael was the only core that was really having a good start. He's come to mid twice and died 2 times to 9. They will get the catch on Snaking. They've got the damage with the 3 of them. 9 trying to poke back in onto Saxa, but he won't head up to the high ground. So OG, they'll get themselves a kill. They need a lot more than that, though, to recover the deficit they're at right now.
That's a very important kill. Anytime you're behind like this, the only way you can sort of move forward on the map is if enemy heroes are dead. Because Snaking is dead, you know, you can sort of, you see Thompson, he can push a little bit further bottom. Maybe Alchemist can farm a little bit more. I mean, Tundra, they're so far ahead that they're still oppressive, but it's a good start for OG to try to come back.
OG's got to be very cautious. We've seen Tundra dive past this tier 1 many times before. Samael, I don't know how safe he is standing as close as he is here. The slow comes out from the plasma field. Dark Troll Summoner. He's going to get the setup on him. They're just running him down. Under the tier 2, Samael will be safe enough for now. But falling very low. They'll have the space and aggression to push down the tier 1. Arrow coming in from the side. Snaking. He lands the hit onto No-Tail. Can't get past Samael though. So No-Tail will be fine. Well, at least for now. I say that 9 and Fada. They're still looking to get him past the tier 2, and they will. Plasma field out. 9 sweeps by. Picks up another kill. 7-0-1 now. As 9 continues to pop off, playing with the momentum that he built up in that game 1. Bottom lane. Thompson trying to get in onto Skeeter, but underneath the tower. Easy time for backup to come in from Tundra. Actually doesn't need to. 9 holds back on the TP. Maybe sees instead a chance to get the wraparound in from the side. Won't go for it though. Thompson having Samael and Saxa by his side. They won't look to poke at this. Tundra snaking. We'll find Seb's Courier though passing by on the top half of the jungle. And 33 with the pressure will now be able to take this tier 1 tower away without OG being able to do anything to hold it.
So Tundra have taken both the mid tower and the enemy safe. They're just running into the jungle.
Seb, and he can't get out of this. He tries to TP, but the Yules is there. I mean, this Razor just completely taking over the game here with the way that Tundra are, as a team, are just enabling 9's aggression. I think it was sort of Milan who talked about the strength of the 23rd pick Razor in a draft, and 9 certainly showing that here. He's having a pretty free game.
Yeah, and OG, they do get some compensation. They managed to get this bot tower. I was actually trying to make a point that you've opened up the map by taking the mid and safe lane tower away from OG. But Tundra, they were already next level, making the move as the tower falls. Seb, he's not really expecting that, because usually it's more systematic, methodical, and slow. Tundra, they're just zooming around, and they've already killed him as the tower's going down.
Bottom, Thompson. He's got to look to get out of it. He's going to go for the TP out, but the damage is done. Skeeter with the illusions of the Metamorphosis will take Thompson out before he can get away.
Ooh, and this is how you want to play Terrorblade. Oh, mid lane though, they're going on to 9 here. This is a big kill if they can get it.
I mean, Nine's pretty tanky. He's got the Yules as well to keep himself safe. They're ready to turn. Snaking will get fingered here by Saxa, but Saxa still falls. Nine charges in over towards Samael. The link going as well. Samael's got to step out to the side. Seb has not got any damage to turn back in onto the two of them. He's trying. I don't know how much he's going to achieve from getting a few hits on this, though, as the slows are coming out from Fada and Nine. Seb's got to get back under the tier 2.
Meanwhile, top lane, you have Helmet Dominator Tidehunter apparently solo killing a tier 2 at 13 minutes in the game.
I mean, he's chilling. He really is in 33. I mean, call him Ash Ketchum because I think he's sort of caught them all. We've seen him play with so many different neutrals already in his first 13 minutes. And everyone to sort of perfect efficiency, from Wild Wings to pulling waves, to Troll Summoners setting up mid, to Alpha Walls, adding that extra damage to push down objectives and take out creep waves. He's doing it all.
And there's even a triple stack at Ancients. Like, I don't know if 3-3 was the one who did this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. He's just doing so much while staying in his lane and taking a tier 2. This build looks phenomenal. I expect it. He's going for the Vladsnix just to support the Terrorblade. Honestly, I saw 3-3 even build some Satanics on offlane Tidehunter in his pubs. Sort of expecting something like that, but no, this game's crazy. There's a lot to learn from, but OG, they're not out of it yet. They can still clutch this game.
I mean, he's been caught in the mid hit. Just have no tail by the side. False Promise is at the ready if Samael needs it. I'll try and turn, see if they've got the damage to bring down Nine. Stuns in, Nine falling low. Nine off to the side, but he'll go down. OG finally able to bring down the Razor. A big kill to catch. Can they get more from this? They're trying to chase down Snaking. Just fast enough, though, to get out of the reach of Samael and to split Earth. Finally, OG getting pretty much the biggest core out of the game right now. Nine finally has to sit on the sidelines.
That's an 8 kill streak. Unfortunately, it goes for no tail. It's not his fault. They needed everything to burst him down. But that's exactly what OG need to come back. Yeah. They need to overwhelm Tundra when they overextend. When you have more of the map, sometimes it means that your resources are going to spread thin. Like, just imagine if we draw a line through the map control. If you have 75% of the map, if you want to take control of that, you have less places where you have more places where your heroes have to be. OG are more focused, you know? They bring all 5 heroes, I mean, there's an Arc Warden clone, and they take down Nine's Razor. It's a very big comeback play from them.
We'll see what they can do with this. Some good stacks here for Seb to clean up. We'll get the Axe pretty much done here. So Seb's going to be able to pass that over. We'll see which way it goes. I would imagine it's still likely to be Samael as that position 1. If anything, just for those extra stats, giving Samael that chance to survive and dish out the damage in the fights.
I could definitely see the eggs on him working. They're trying to find Saxa in the trees up top. He's juking. He's fine. He's fine. Hey, OG, they finished a little bit of items. They have the Maelstrom on Thompson, who's actually opted to go for treads over travels on Arc Warden in this game, just because of how hard the early game was. So he's not scaling the same way, you know, we saw in the C qualifiers, these epic 2-hour-long games that Black had to cast like 18 of. He's just struggling. This might not be the same Arc Warden. It's a treads Arc Warden.
Oh, it's going to indeed take time. As you say, he's just sort of been sitting in that bottom half of the net worth. He's had to compensate and get these.
And I don't know if he has time. Look at Tundra. Same as OG last week. They're pressing the issue. They're just going to take this objective on the map.
I know, OG's got to kind of let it go. There's not really too much they can do when it comes to bringing together a team fight around the pit, especially when the Metamorphosis is up for Skeeter. I see what sort of an impact it has. I mean, when you do the maths, do the numbers, it is going to allow him to kick out a lot of damage. Eternal Shroud done as well. So Samael is going to be pretty survivable on the front lines, especially with No Tail having the backup. Oh, arrows connecting like that, though, might cause issues. Samael's going to turn with the Nihilism. It's actually not really amping up that much at all. Tundra seem being pretty unfazed there by that aggressive attempt from Samael. The Ravage comes out. He catches the 3 of them, plus the Tempest double. That's 7 Samael gone. The Tempest double to fall as well. But, well, no, in fact, they've got their eyes set on bigger targets. They're going to go for the real heroes, chasing down No Tail. As No Tail false promises himself. He's got no escape available, though. He knows what's inevitable, as his life will come to an end. Another kill for 9. Straight from the Rosham down the mid lane. They've got the setup on the high ground. They're looking towards him. Arrows coming in. It's going to connect onto Thompson, but they won't go forward. Zacks are at the side, ready with the stuns. Tundra will respect that. They won't dive in onto Thompson.
Look at this play from Fada. He's even dragged the bottom wave. The amount of efficiency coming out from the wave drags, everything from Tundra's side is phenomenal, but they're going on to Tidehunter mid here. This is their chance. They have no Ravage.
They're in. Stun control. Fada, he'll offer up a lymphotic shield. It won't be enough to save him. Finger comes in big from Saxa. They'll burst down the tide.
honestly, one of my favorite things from the last fight was that looked like overwhelming force from Tundra. But Skitter was actually just farming his own Ancients in Triangle during that fight. So they got this extreme efficiency, dragging the bottom wave, getting Ancients, winning a fight. You know, they had the enemy shine all at the same time. And they're up 8k gold, they don't have Ravage, but one of the benefits of playing with these fast lane-shoving heroes like Terrorblade, Mirana, Razor, is that if you have cooldowns, you can always split push the lanes. That's even ameliorated because they pick up this Illusion Rune. And man, it's hard to play OG's map right now. They're doing a good job punishing Tundra when they overextend, but there's not that many opportunities when you're behind.
And the timer definitely still ticking for them in the sense that once Skeeter has his next time done the Skadi, they're going to be in position, Tundra, to start approaching high ground sieges. OG's got to be prepared. They've got to have some sort of defense to come in. A lot of it's going to rest on Samel, what he can do as the Leshrac. You know, anytime OG do run this Seb Alchemist, getting that Ags and fueling it into Samel, it does mean they're sort of going to be playing a core down, and even more than that this game, with Thompson still needing time to recover, get himself a few items. See, up in the jungle, they'll go to look to burst down 9, but 9's got the Aegis. He's going to be ready for another round. 15 seconds until the Ravage is back up for 33. Fada getting focused, still has the borrowed time to rely on Samel. He's been silenced. False Promise comes out from No Tail to keep Samel alive. Over to the side, they're on to Thompson. Thompson gets blown up. As Thompson down, they're heading towards Skeeter. Do they have the damage to take down the Terrorblade? They don't. Skeeter turns, gets the Sunder off. Ravage is ready to go. 33 catches all remaining heroes on OG. As OG get team wiped by Tundra.
Tips out onto Seb. And you know, OG, they're trying. It's close. Terrorblade almost dies there. They just don't have enough damage, but Tundra, I think that was a Ravage like coming down in cooldown during the fights. They're baiting out the fight. Perfect Ravage, and now look at this. And, yo, Tundra, they're doing so much on the map. They're hitting mid tier 2, they're hitting top tier 3, they're just doing everything. Even Snaking's running to get bottom control because they understand the state of this game. Their win condition this game is not necessarily to kill the Raxes, it's to get full map control. Don't let Arc Ward and Alchemist farm. Outscale them because you have a refresher on Tide. You have more items, you're stronger that way. It's a very methodical, like, proper way to play Dota compared to like a lot of the more aggressive approaches. Snaking.
Oh, Sacks up. He's in with a blink. Is he going to be able to buy enough time for the rest of them to head over? Somehow, it's not going to be able to get close enough by the looks of it, and if anything, has to be a little careful. Skeeter is in the neighborhood, and meanwhile, 9, he's killing off Seb top. Seb steps up, a quick kill onto him. OG, they really want to, they're still trying to go for this, but the Bros under there from Skeeter, keeping Snaking healed up. Zamel still on the front lines as he got enough damage to kill Snaking. He's trying to chase him. Snaking will finally fall, but it's been a lot of pressure here from Samel. Samel has got enough to deal with the rest of them. 9, he's in with the BKB, ready to chase down Samel with the static link. It's Thompson, he's been surrounded by 33 Fowler and Skeeter. Thompson's trying to fight them off. He's got nothing to offer against the three of them as Thompson goes down. 9, still with the movement speed, closing in on Samel. Another slow from the plasma field. He's got your scepter in 8 seconds, not quite soon enough to grab him. Meanwhile, in the trees, Skeeter's on the hunt for Saxa. Saxa jumps out to the side, but Skeeter's able to find him with the reflection as Saxa slowly dying there to an illusion of himself. He will live long enough to TP out, and in fact, it's enough. They don't have any vision or ways to cut through the trees, so he won't die today here. Saxa making it back to safety. But not same can't be said indeed for some of OG's cores. Thompson down again. Tundra now in position to push this bottom creep wave round and take away that final tier 2. Still just at the early timing here of 21 minutes in.
I even just watched Fada run into Elk's acid spray and deny 2 range creeps 21 minutes into the game. And another great fight for Tundra. You know, Skitter, he saves Snaking for long enough, baits OG in, and Thompson, he comes in and he's just stuck with the treads. He can't get out. Also, I didn't know how the Leshrac eggs works, but it does make Leshrac ethereal. I saw in that fight. It gives him extra move speed, and he doesn't take any increased magic damage. So it is quite strong, a lot stronger than what I expected. But my apologies to the audience, because honestly, I have never, like, I've seen the item like once or twice. It's not something that we usually see, like a lot of OG strats.
Yeah, I would say, don't worry, Laowi. It doesn't even say in the tooltip that it makes himself.
Oh, why would it? You don't deserve to know from Dota tooltips.
We can blame Valve on that one. Seb, they've found him. He's going to get the ult off. It doesn't matter. Skeeter at this stage with the Skadi pretty much done 100 gold. Now what can you do? This is the Terrorblade at that incredible mass, at this incredible timing that has enabled the hero to just do so well and particularly in the hands of Skeeter, finding success again and again. Maybe a few more times than you'd maybe expect teams to let him have it. As Tundra, as we did see, very comfortable draft, comfortable picks, and it is showing much more so than what you'd maybe expect from OG with this sort of lineup. OG not having a great time at all here. Down 29-9, 14k lead at the moment for Tundra. OG's got to come out with something spectacular to turn this one around, because at the moment it's looking like Tundra are going to have to clean sweep here in this series.
Yeah, and look at Saxa. He is beasting it. He prevented a tier 2 death just by sort of pulling the wave. Oh, Samel.
Going in on him. 33 has got a Ravage as well if he sees a good chance to get in on the fight. Samel trying to turn things. Fada, he's got the Poro time good to go. Won't seize an opportunity for the Ravage, but they can play it cool here, Tundra. They don't need to force any aggression. As long as they're not losing anybody, they're fine.
OG just got their second tier 2 neutral item, by the way. It's 24 minutes into the game, and they only have 2 of the neutral items that drop at 17. And this is with Lashrak, Alchemist, Arcord, and heroes that you typically consider to farm neutrals a lot.
Samel. Go for Fada. Saxa's got the stun here, 33. He's on and onto the Ravage. Stun will come out, Concoction onto 33. And still just not quite the damage at all here. Skeeter more than fine. Turns over towards Samel. No tell. He's got the false promise. Holds on to the last moment, really, to pop it onto Samel. Samel will try for the TP out, but 33 pops the Ravage, catches No Tail and Samel. No escape for them. 4 dead again on OG as Tundra. I mean, they really are doing it here, and so many times we've seen in this upper bracket run, they are making quite the case for themselves here in this Western European qualifiers. As what looks to be on track to be another win. It just looks so good. It just looks so crisp, so solid. They're doing something a little bit new. They're doing their own style, bringing their own sort of take on the game, and it's looking a step ahead of anything else that any of the other teams are bringing, Howie.
They're looking absolutely fantastic. And this is against, like, OG. Milan talked about it. They had 2 strategies that they revealed. The Magnus and the Alchemist. Tundra, they knew about those strategies, and they seem to have perfectly counter-strated both of them. Like, it's hard to say whether Tundra, like, they're playing so well. All their plays, it's synced up with their teammates. But I think the most impressive thing is just how well strategized they were going into this match. Terribly versus Alchemist, you know, the Wyvern versus Magnus. They had really good ideas here.
Setting up with the Moonlight. Getting in behind the tier 2 tower as well, Tundra. Skeeter will be able to finish off the tier 2 tower. Trying to turn their attention towards Fada, but Fada's more than happy for OG to go on it. Ults at the ready, Samel forced out to the side. No tail, no false promise for 25 seconds. Samel, he's going to need help. He's not going to get it with no ult back up on the Oracle. There's no save for Samel. Samel's down for 45, and that's more than enough space for Tundra to step up to the high ground. 25 minutes in, start looking to take down the tier 3 in the back. Thompson, what can he do to hold? Has he got enough firepower in him to get some kills? He will get Fada. Big stun from Saxa comes out onto the 2 of them. Snaking getting low, will get burst. OG, they will manage to hold here. They get 2 kills, and that will be enough to stop Tundra from sticking around. They'll keep their tier 3 alive, OG.
And honestly, a bit uncharacteristically sloppy by Tundra this game. 3-3 had the Alpha Wolf in the Roshan pit, and they scouted Roshan was up. I would have far preferred, instead of going for this high ground, to understand that their win condition is just this big gold lead and agents. OG, they do a good punish, you know, a beautiful stun coming out from Saxa. But I think a lot of this game is going to come down to, can OG contest this Roshan? Because again, we've seen time and time again, this second Roshan, I think 3-3 will pick up the shard, he'll anchor smash your tower, will do no damage, and then how do you stop the high ground from coming? They're doing Roshan with 3 heroes alive only. Yeah, they don't have meta. Alright,
I mean,
so
they
decided.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a bit too crazy.
Maybe we should be careful. Especially, as I said, after sort of the maybe the missed call to try and go for the high ground. Maybe getting a little too excited about Samel being out of the game. They did sort of opt to push on.
But now 9.
They'll play it safe.
He's picked up his Refresher Orb, and it's such a huge item on Razor. This item has gone on... The biggest buff that this item got was the fact that BKB at its lowest charge is now 6 seconds. So if you have Refresher Orb, that's 12 seconds of magic immunity compared to 10 from before. It's a big deal. Look at Seb. He's trying to sneak into the enemy triangle just to get these tier 3 items. Did they even get all their tier 2s? They only have 3 tier 2 items at 27 minutes. They managed to pick up a couple of tier 3s, but that's rough, man. That's just sort of... indicative of how much map control and pressure Tundra has put onto the OG side.
Pressure's going to continue here with this Roche falling very quickly. OG not in any place or position to put a stop to this one. So here
This
we have
is-
it. Actually, Skeeter's going to take everything here. Well, at least the Aegis and the Shard. Make sure that he has the Zeal ready for the next move.
I can see that. I mean, Skitter, he's been fighting without Metamorphosis like 3 fights this game, and they won all of them. Zeal's specifically good when you don't have that meta. So, you know, a little bit of logic there, maybe a little bit of a read on the game. And they're ready. They have Ravage, they have meta, they want to go high ground here. They even have this Alpha Wolf creep, and Vlad's on 3-3, giving Terrorblade an extra 48% damage.
Saxa. Force out to the side, Samel. He's getting in on this, 33 with a cheeky aggressive force staff there, pulling Samel towards them. Samel.
This
Trying
is
to do
still
his
awkward
best.
in Dota.
They do at the hold, they do at the bubbles. They're slowing down the offensive here from Skeeter. Is it going to be enough? Doesn't look like it. Tier 3 still goes down. 33 stepping up, has Ravage good to go. So OG, got to be cautious how close they step towards the tide. And they can't step close enough at all to stop this damage being done. The melee racks falling pretty fast. The backdoor protection does kick in. Bubble as well. They're able to move into the bubble, continue to beat down, and OG, they're just getting torn apart by 9. He heads in with the BKB, the 2 rounds of the Eye of the Storm, and OG, they've got to step out of it. Samel, again, getting aggressively forced in by 33. 33 playing around with Samel each and every time he tries to step in. Now Skeeter, he's just on top of Thompson, charging down on the artboard, the Ravage comes out, catches the 4 of them again. 33, easily able to land it onto pretty much the entirety of OG's lineup, as OG, they're getting beat back towards the fountain. Thompson, only just being saved here by the false promise. He will live. Tundra, are they going to get caught on the way out? Skeeter still with an Aegis. Samel, looking at Fada. Borrowed time still on cooldown for 30 seconds. Saxer, another nice stun lined up onto the 3 of them. They'll kill off Fada. Samel, charging in the Nihilism as well, and pick up the damage being dealt here to Skeeter. Skeeter, they should be able to take him down the once. Can they do it again? He's got limited backup. Only 33 and Snaking ready to help out. Got the stun opening. Is there anything Skeeter can do to play his way out of this one? Get the reflection now onto the 4 of them. Any further catch? Seb stunning a rev up concoction. They force him up to the high ground. Concoction's in. Another force. 33 forcing Skeeter down to the low ground. Is it enough to get him out of the reach of Saxa? It is. 33 will get Skeeter
They got
the
a hex on
distance he
him.
needs to get into the trees, but the hex is there. The vision provided. The spark rev into the trees will allow them to get the catch. Stop Skeeter from getting out. As OG, they may have lost the racks, but they're finally able to find a fight where they will come out on top in terms of numbers.
That's a beautiful punish from OG. A little bit, you know, they're 1 game away from being the grand finals of the TI qualifiers. Maybe a little bit of nerves kicking in, but they went very far there. If you look at where 9 died, he died like basically where the throne is to the fountain, like perpendicular. And as soon as that Razor's dead, as soon as he's expended that refresher double BKB, I think Tundra need to realize that there's a lot of catch, there's a lot of magical damage coming in for OG. Thompson, despite his like sort of rough game, he's now finished Mjolnir. He's going to get to MKB. He is going to hurt Terrorblade a lot now.
Yeah, they're making a recovery. It's still got a bit of a way to go. But OG making sure that they're not walked over completely here by Tundra.
Ooh, look at Razor. He's going for a Nullifier next. I think that's really cool. I was, in my head, I was like, he has to go for... Actually, he doesn't have Aghanims yet. I thought he would just go Aghanims. He just break the base. Like, the idea I had of this game was they had Arc Warden, but you have Tidehunter with Anchor Smash, which goes through the bubble, and then you have Aghanims on Razor, which also goes through the bubble. So even though you can keep laying down these defensive spells, you'll still break the base. Tundra, they have a different idea. They built Blink on Skitter and Tidehunter. They want to just jump OG and kill them so that they can't place those bubbles. It's a perfectly valid idea. Just a bit different than what I thought.
We're picking both of these up after that last fight, so might catch OG off guard. There's OG staying hidden up in the base. Tundra
Dire's courier has
will
been
get a couple of couriers on the way out here.
has been killed.
I didn't get to click on those couriers. Do you know if they had some items on them? Oh, they're jumping Samel mid.
I don't think they had anything too important on it. I think Samel was just trying to get it out to get the plate mail for his for his Shiva's guard, so not any huge items on them at the least, but will limit, of course, that ability for OG to really pick much up with the way that Tundra is keeping OG contained in the base.
And they pop meta here. He wants to go in.
Oh, he does. He popping the BKB. Skeeter's just charging down. He's able to force No-Tail to have to false promise himself. 33 holding on for the reaction. Now pops the Ravage. Again, catching the four of them. They move in 9 with a refresher. Second charge. The BKB in the eye of the storm. Runs down No-Tail. No-Tail will turn to be able to keep Sumail alive, but it will cost No-Tail his life. Thompson does turn, take down 33. Thompson will win the duel this time round as he holds his ground, beats him down, but that's Seb out. 9 heads over towards Thompson, catches him trying to sneak back towards the base. And Thompson, he's out. He's 90 gold short of buyback. He's not going to have buyback available in time. They do manage to get kills elsewhere, though, with Sumail and No-Tail running down, snaking. So, despite losing Thompson here, they're able to hold once again. OG somehow finding the way to come out on top of these fights.
And Razor now has his nullifier. I think I'm seeing a bit of his idea. In that fight, Sumail, if you get an Oracle saved, he'll put his Purifying Flames on you. That actually gets purged by nullifier, so you can't heal up your ally. Also, I'm assuming the ethereal form from Nihilism can get purged. I've never really seen the interaction, but it has to be, right? Yeah. Just like a Ghost Scepter or Ethereal Blade.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just thinking, okay, all we have to do is we blink on the Leshrac, we Ravage him, Nullifier him, and we burst him down. That fight was very uncoordinated from Tundra. Again, I think maybe a little bit of inexperience, but Skitter jumped in with BKB meta.
He went straight in.
Yeah, and Tidehunter's blink was on cooldown, so he couldn't follow up at the same time. When you have timings like BKB, Ravage, Metamorphosis, you want to combine your spells so the instant you commit to the fight, you're bursting enemy heroes. They still do get a lot of buybacks out from OG, but I think OG are so happy with that fight. They're constantly being given windows, and most importantly, they've come back 12,000 EXP in this game. It's a huge deal.
They're absolutely in a position where another move like that from Tundra could lead OG to really leveling the playing field. And we'll start to set up for the next move by the looks of it. 9. Set for 25. And they do know if they can get a hit here onto OG, No-Tail and Seb won't be able to buy back for a second round in the fights, and they're heading in with the smoke. See what they can find. Skeeter, he's ready to go in aggressively. Jumps forward straight away. No-Tail having to instantly false promise himself as he attempts to force his way out of here. Saxa gets focused down by the damage of Skeeter. Saxa out for a minute. No buyback, but they're forcing him in. Nine's ready to go in even deeper onto Sumail. Sumail trying to turn with the aggression of the Nihilism. Skeeter being focused, but he's still got the Sunder. Good to go. 33's in with the Ravage, catching them all out as they try and get back towards the fountain. A buyback has to come out from Sumail. Sumail getting straight back in on Tafada. Stun, catching out Skeeter. Skeeter, he's still got a Sunder. Is he able to get it off in time? He is. Sunder snaking, gets him back a good amount of health. Refresher pop from 9, jumps straight back in over to No-Tail as No-Tail's out for 80 seconds. 9's able to clean up with the triple, gets Thompson, turns towards Sumail, but Sumail, he's still got a lot of fuel in the tank. He's ready to get burning down the rest of them. 9, he's got to step out of here. Seb beats into snaking. Sumail jumps forward. He's able to pick up another with the blink. Triple kill, ultra kill for Sumail. And Sumail, he's holding on here for OG. The concoction over towards 33, or blink away, forced to the side. It will still connect. Sumail, he's got blink up in a second. He's not going to go looking for the tide though, but again, does cost a buyback here from Sumail, but a huge buyback indeed as he manages to clean up the majority of Tundra one by one.
Ooh, and Tundra, it's looking a little spicy now. Like it seems like they're actually sort of throwing this game. I thought it was impossible, but this is, what is this, like 3 or 4 base dives past the tier 3s in a row? Your supports can't fall
they go
off.
in.
Yeah, they just keep going in. There's no like stopping to their aggression. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it leads to situations where, you know, you were 20k up gold, you were 30k EXP up, and now you're dead 4 heroes. Roshan, luckily for Tundra, is not spotting, because that would have been an insane swing. But my goodness, there's just, honestly, OG are just baiting them in so well and outplaying them in these fights. It's just
now Sumail's also he's picked up the flicker. So good luck killing this Lash. Sumail, he's going to be hopping all over the shop.
It's just like that fight. Razor's 20 seconds off refresher. You know, you're ahead. You get to choose when you want to go high ground, when you want to fight. I mean, they are still in a dominant position. They're up only 8k gold now. Actually, they really close on OG. And this is against Alchemist, where you'd usually think Alchemist lineups will be ahead in gold. But still, I'm not seeing Skitter being able to right-click people into fights, which is very surprising to me. He doesn't have an MKB against Arc Warden. He's opted for the sort of all-in Blink Dagger, going for the Swift Blink. If they had just played solid Dota, where they buy MKB, they get the Aghanims on Razor, they get the Shard on Tidehunter, Siege on High Ground Solar, I guarantee this game is looking very free for them. But now, we have a real game on our hand. OG can win this game.
We do. Oh, they absolutely can. One more move from Tundra.
Roshan
That
spawns in 6
oversteps
seconds.
the mark, and it will hurt. I mean, yeah, they're so close to holding on to it. They're eyeing up Seb. I'll see the Roche back up now, but they want to head back for that. What's the move? They'll try and take some quick control back of the jungle, and they will indeed duck straight into the pit.
And this is a refresher orb. I think if Razor had Aghanims, you would just give it to Razor. He literally kills the tier 4s and Throne in 20 seconds. But because they don't have it, I think 3-3 is just going to grab this up. It is so incredibly powerful. The double Ravage, I mean, maybe this is what they need. Just a little bit more oomph to their team fight, where they can burst heroes on Ravage and meta. But honestly, I'm really concerned how they've dove base. OG has straight up outplayed them. Despite being 20k net worth behind, despite being 30k EXP. They understand exactly how to take these fights. They take it kitey, and they don't even throw their burst right away. They save it, and as soon as Skitter's BKB is down, he gets hit by Nihilism, Finger, some Leshrac stun. He's hit like 3 times by the Split Earth Leshrac shard this game, just completely ruining his team fight, and just really impressed with the base defense.
Well, so they can still play into this timing, but we have about 2 minutes left where Notail, Seb, and Samael, by a good few minutes, will not have buyback available. Tundra, they want to try and hit hard with that. They do indeed pick him up outside of the base. Saxa himself has got buyback. I mean, even Thompson, to be fair, buyback's off cooldown, but again, just fully investing, so will not have the money to return. So a core death here could lead to Tundra having the space to close this game up. They've got to be careful, OG. Samael. Feeling confident to jump in onto Skeeter with the backup that he has from Notail.
And Thompson, he's really starting to hurt. He's going for the Daedalus now. He's doing a lot of damage. Look at Skitter. He might have to sunder.
He's going to have to think hard about it. Has indeed had to step up sunder the Wraith here. The double. Tier 3, and it's gone. So second set of racks now exposed. Tundra. They're going to head in aggressively. Skeeter, straight up, popping the Metamorphosis. OG, what have they got? They're coming with some good defensive performance. 33's in! Straight to the back lines, finds the Ravage onto the 3 of them. They take out Notail. That's Notail out. No buyback. Samael, he's not got his Oracle. He's not got his save. As that's Samael down. 2 minutes. Saxa gone as well. There'll be a buyback from Saxa. But no Samael, no Notail, with the buyback still on cooldown.
Thompson's doing a lot of damage.
He's got to do some heavy carrying here. He certainly is. Skitter getting low, but Skitter, he looks to jump back in aggressively. Sunder onto Seb. Skitter's up to full HP. Still has the Aegis and the BKB ready to pop Skitter. Saxa lines up the stun, but the reach is there. 33 and 9 jumping on top of him. There's 3 dead on OG. No buybacks available as Tundra, at the least, will be able to get the Mega Creeps. Maybe even the game itself as well. Thompson and Seb. What can they do here, the two of them? Double getting caught out by the arrow. 33 able to force the double outside of the bubble so they can take it out. You'll set him onto Thompson as they close in upon him. Thompson is trying to stand his ground, forced out to the side, but they've got the damage, they've got the chase. Thompson is out. 4 dead on OG. They've got fortification to rely on. Notail's back up in 5. But without 2 cores for more than a minute, what sort of miracle can OG achieve here? Seb is trying to head forward. False promise out from Notail. It's keeping Seb alive, but Tundra, they're just focusing the objectives here. Fada and Skeeter looking to close it up onto the tier 4s. Buyback finally comes up for Thompson. He's back in, but Seb's out. Notail as well, only just surviving it back in the base. They're popping the BKBs. Tundra, they're actually going to ignore the H. They want to get more kills out of this. They take out the double. Thompson, can he hold the base here? The final tier 4 starting to fall. Skeeter jumps in straight away on a Thompson. Thompson, he's out of the game for good. As that'll be it. No more backup here for OG as Tundra, they'll claim the victory. GG called by OG as Tundra will take this series 2-0 and they've secured themselves a ticket to the grand final here at the Western European qualifiers.
And in what convincing fashion too. Who would have expected Tundra coming into today to just, I mean honestly, a little bit sloppy at the end there from Tundra, but I think we can call these two pretty big stomps, right? Like outstratted, outplayed, everything coming off from Tundra. They look absolutely fantastic. OG, it didn't really look like they knew what to do against Tundra's game plan.
No, for sure. I mean, they were, as we said, able to pick up some sort of turnaround, at least the start of a turnaround maybe in the later stages of the game, but the lead that Tundra had, I mean, it just goes to show, if anything, how much of a solid hold Tundra had from the off, that they could sort of make what those three little overextensions, dives, poking buybacks out here and there from OG, and it didn't matter. You know, still when it came down to that final fight with the strength that Tundra had amassed, it was too much. And yeah, as I say, Tundra now straight up into the best of 5 grand finals, and it's going to be spicy down in that lower bracket. We've got OG, Liquid, and Nigma fighting for not a spot at TI, but a spot in the finals to play for a spot at TI, Howie.
And it's terrifying. Like, look at those teams. Anyone throughout the entire DPC, they're like, oh, these teams are going to be at TI. They're not even going to all be in the finals of the qualifier for TI. It's crazy. And again, I just want to say, like, props to Tundra. That was a fantastic series coming out from them.
Yeah. No, it really was a real pleasure to see. I think they're definitely getting a lot of fans on the way. People excited to see what ideas Tundra continues to bring to the game. Some smart stuff and very impressive things to break down, as we'll let the panel do so indeed. As there we go, ladies and gentlemen, Tundra, the series is theirs. 2-0 against OG.
Yeah, I feel like you could do you could go something really safe like a Witch Doctor. Haven't seen Insania play that too much. He might end up going for his Oracle, which is really popular. I would not like to see him play a Batten. You definitely don't want to be like a melee hero versus this Timbersaw.
We still have Lion as well, who's like...
Yeah, it's not bad, but it is low damage for Timbersaw. So right now they really do lack a bit of damage on Team Liquid's lineup. So I would like to see them get something from their supports. Maybe Phoenix could be a good choice for them. You could even do like a 5 Phoenix, and Axe could probably carry him through lane. Well, whether it be off lane or safe lane Axe. I'm curious how the like a safe lane Axe versus off lane Timbersaw matchup would go. I feel like Axe will be maybe they both just farm. I'm not completely sure. I'm not sure if one forces the other out.
We also still have Hoodwink, actually, speaking of those high damage supports.
True.
Like someone who could actually follow up on the Axe for the kill.
And respect band there from Team Nigma, the Monkey King. We've seen Team Liquid pick it up a couple of times so far these qualifiers, and it's looked okay. I don't think it won, though, but still the respect banning it out. Team Liquid, they took a long time to ban out the Drow Ranger, and they've also banned out the Winter Wyvern. Is there any particular theme that you see in terms of those bans? Other than the Frosty Bits?
Yeah, just super good versus Lone Druid. I think those are 2 of the best heroes. Because they can just outrange, and then if they put the Axe in the off lane, then Drow can also zone that out too. So it's just those are really good bans, I think.
Yeah, I like them too. I'm definitely looking at the Phoenix for either side. I feel like Kuro could pick that hero up and play it this game. Wyvern's also very good against the Axe, right? You can freeze the person who gets called. It's like a bit of save. You can even ult the Axe afterwards.
Oh, they take the ILTW and Luna away from him.
There is with the Luna gone, there is a Shadow Demon in the pool. Shadow Demon could be a potential 4 for GH if they wanted to do Luna mid, and it's it's good setup for LSA throughout the game. It's also kind of like a hard counter to Luna. I would love to see Shadow
and the
Demon.
Axe too, right? Yeah, this is really good.
Good save for Axe as well.
Ooh, that's hard to
they
beat.
picked their cores in the first 3.
Yeah,
that is a little bit surprising.
Potentially, maybe we'll get the 5 Axe.
No, it's the Insania 5 position Lone Druid from way back when.
Something should never be touched again. Pilot Eye Tinker, we just...
So the only reason that Liquid would do this is that they've truly felt like Nigma was going to take the Luna themselves. So if that's, that may be a correct read, we'll never know. But we'll have to see, what Nigma decides to pick for carry, and if it's anything similar to Luna, maybe they did want it.
All right, write that down. We got to ask that after. All right. If Nigma win, we'll just have to make sure. Double check. Is Medusa still in? It is. Yep. That's potentially something Nigma could go for. I feel like that's been a go-to versus Luna. Just she does a lot of AoE damage. You are this big stalwart single unit.
5 seconds.
Yep. Looks like Snaking has inspired Team Liquid a little bit here as well with the Mirana pickup, most likely for Taiga.
Yep, Ench out there. It's very annoying harass. I love it when it lanes with the axe because you can just like plant a deep ward and dive couriers, and axe can be like cutting creeps and stuff, so you can both be like a little bit elusive and mysterious with all the creep shenanigans you can pull. And we started talking about Midas Armor earlier as a potential for Liquid, but Nigma come out with the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, this hero's pretty nice in this game, I would say. He's got the natural evasion for the axe and his illusions to reduce the damage from that, that super powerful Manta shard timing. He also has good jump for either support, and that's actually one of the things that Mirana struggles with the most is like this. Mirana and Lina are kind of the same, where they want to play backline on the lane. But if you can poke the Mirana or if you can poke the Lina and threat that jump with that level 2 blink strike, it makes Mirana's game much, much harder. Also, PA is one of the... it's pretty good against Lone Druid because you can jump the hero if he's ever like not in position and you have good burst. You also generally go Deso on PA, which is pretty nice for him and the bear. But that
Aren't
matchup
you worried
is...
about being kited though?
By who?
You get entangled, you get a Lucent Beam on your head, that sets up for a call.
Well, that's one of the strengths of PA versus other heroes, is that it's really hard to kite a PA because she has the blink strike, whether she wants to, go in with it or go out with it.
10 seconds remaining.
Fair enough.
Trying to
My
think,
last picks.
yeah, what can Insania get away with here, assumedly for him at least, in terms of a... Oh, wait, he'll have the last overall pick too. Yeah, okay, we can't look at his hero quite yet. I'm thinking tree, other than the timber, would be pretty good. Just like something else to try and stop the PA from doing her like game plan, Like if she jumps in, you force the commitment.
Yeah, they have some BKB lockdown already, but nothing wrong with getting more. They're really low damage still, I would say, for this Timber Saw, which is a bit of a concern for me. I'm not sure if they can find damage on position 5.
Oh, the Witch Doctor you mentioned earlier actually still looks really good too, because they have the Ench now as well.
Yeah.
I can't help but think Liquid messed up in their draft here. I don't understand. I don't get why you would last pick your 5 position on second pick. He's supposed to carry the game, right? Last pick, he's supposed to have the best game. So
he did carry the game earlier today with this Ancient Deprivation with 3 Rangers. That worked out well.
All right, 5 Viper. We're in.
Yeah, it would be something.
We'll get the break. I mean, you said the Hoodwink break too. Actually, is pretty nice for the PA.
Kind of rough. This is a really hard lane. Remember, it could be for Lina, right? Still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that the Miracle will just play it though. I still really like Shadow Demon for GH, and I know he has played the hero in the past, but he could easily play Lina if they wanted a new mid. There's still TA in the pool.
Yep.
Maybe not the best matchup versus Lone Druid, and they
Got
go with
Willow.
the Willow.
And there's the Viper, good call, Trent.
But is it 5 or is it 5 axe?
Well, that
It's
is
5
5
Viper.
Viper.
Yeah, 5 Viper's
Yes,
pretty good.
5 Viper coming out.
Yeah.
And the GH Willow. There's not really any surprises in terms of who is playing what this game. Interesting draft. It's kind of all over the place, and it's a weird draft order. PD weren't really too confident in Team Liquid's draft. Now that you see the full picture, does that change your mind?
No, not necessarily. I think the Viper last pick is going to be pretty underwhelming, and I feel like Nigma is on a lot of comfort heroes, so I expect all of them to have like a good game. And if they don't get crushed in lanes, they can delay the game a little bit. I think Timbersaw will make plenty of space for PA to farm up.
Yeah, this game to
Alright,
me,
how about you, Trent?
Boxy and Taiga need to. We need some serious like snaking energy here from Taiga with those big plays around. It's not so much a like stack scouting. I mean, actually, it kind of is because they have Mind Control and Miracle with this Timber and Lina, who can both abuse it pretty heavily. So if he can sort of like abuse the safe lane by like sniping couriers, scout out the stacks, get Boxy up to the earlier blink, it's those two that really need to make the magic happen, because Lone Druid and Luna can be a little bit shaky. I think their win condition overall does look a little bit more difficult for Liquid.
Okay, well, let's see what's going to happen in the first game of Elimination Series for the Western European TI-10 qualifiers. We're heading over to Lyrical and AUI for Game 1.
Thank you so much, Shiver. Yeah, Ali, we're here. You know, the final 4 teams, I think a lot of people were anticipating some combination of these ones in the bottom, but it's Nigma and Liquid who have fallen first. Thoughts going into this game before we really get into like the draft too much? Is there one team that you sort of feel is the favorite going into this series, or is it pretty even?
I mean, they have played some games in the TI qualifiers, but just because of the format, they haven't shown that much, like any team yet. And I think going in, like most people would put Nigma as one of the favorites to win the entire thing, just because, you know, the performance at the ANA major, their history at TI, just the experience of the team. So I think it is a little bit of Nigma's favor going in. With that said, this might be the hardest Timbersaw lane I've ever seen. Luna Viper looks like it's going to destroy mind control in lane. And he's on Dire's side, so the wave pulling is not as effective as it otherwise might have been. And Koikfa, look at that. He's scouted out the ward with his bear, so they already know where one of the wards are placed. Just a little advantage they're eking out.
Yeah, he was doing that through the very early sets for at any point, so they probably aren't even going to go over to contest for this one. But it's going to be interesting to watch. Like you're talking about, a very tough lane, and Sania, not only does he have poison attack skilled up level 1, but he's also got 3 mangoes. So he is just going to be ready to spam constantly on mind control.
And you combine that with just a mini sun from Lucent Beam, so mind control can't Timber Chain away, which he has skilled at level 1, and the aura making Viper hit just that much harder. It's a really hard lane for Timbersaw. I played Viper 5 against Timbersaw in NA qualifiers on a joke team, and Timbersaw got smashed in that lane. I had it terribly, not a Luna.
And I mean, it was you, so if you can do it, then, you know, surely...
Basically, like, this guy's going to play a lot better than me. Like, even from level 1, look at this. They're already... Mind control can't even enter the lane right now.
Yeah, that is really annoying. They do get a little bit of a wraparound here from GH, and we'll see what he tries to do. They're going to start Timber Chaining, actually. Insania, has he stepped too far forward? Oh, man, this is a problem. The chase down and the kill. What should have been a 1 lane, and now it's completely turned around.
That was a really good read from Nigma. GH just sneaking in from the side, and I mean, now mind control, he gets a free wave. The levels that you're most concerned about on Timbersaw are levels 1 and 2. Now, Mickey, look, he's getting pressured in this lane.
Oh, man. It's so crazy sometimes the effect that a single decision, a single step out of position can cause on the whole rest of the game. And we'll see how this goes. Insania now respecting a little bit more as GH proving it to be the difference maker, at least in that first round. And you can see now some of the strength that's coming back a little bit more for Liquid, but it doesn't feel like it's going to have that same potency that it would have starting at level 1.
For sure. Because of the start of the lane, now this hard camp has spawned. Usually on Dire, you don't have many play options because your wave pull is not as good. But with the hard camp, now you have some ability to manipulate the creep equilibrium, get Timbersaw to that desperately needed level 3.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eyes on that one for sure, as it does look like up top now, ILTW trying to deal with the pressure that's going to come from Taiga and Boxy, and at least so far he's been pretty okay with it. Got level 2, has himself not a ton more regen, but Kuro's brought out a lot as well. So that's going to be something to watch for. How do you feel like this mid's going to go?
I think this lane is Lina favored. I could be wrong because Lone Druid is so infrequently picked, and Koikfa's a specialist on it. But how I see this lane is, you don't even care about hitting Lone Druid's hero, you just hit his bear, and Lina does too much DPS. You can't sustain because the cooldown is very long. And it's very expensive now to buy TPs for your bear.
Okay. It'll be something to watch for. And it does look like Miracle in the meantime just trying to focus on farming. He is actually punching Koikfa a good number of times. Lina has really good range, obviously, in the mid lane. So we'll do a little bit of trading off there. As he does
look at the bear mid. It's just getting pressured. You know, you just right-click it, and eventually you do have to spend resummons, and then you're vulnerable. Top lane arrow. Oh, just arrow into range creep. Sorry, I thought that was going on a hero.
Oh, that's fine. Sure, it will at some point. It's 3 minutes in, and you can see that nobody is getting fully blocked out right now. How much of a big deal is it that mind control was able to get to this level 3, and that the lane looks like he's going to have at least a bit of a life down here? Does that sort of shut everything down at all, or do you think it's going to be pretty okay?
I think the lane is still going to be complete freeform for Mickey. It's just this lane was going to literally be 100-0 in my opinion. Like Timbersaw would, at points, he wouldn't even get EXP from the creeps. You'd have to pull wave on Dire, on Dark Willow. He's actually going to get to play a Dota game this game. He's doing just as well as an Axe, and oftentimes when you have these strong side lanes, you know, Enchantress 5, Viper 5, it's not about winning the lane as an offlaner, but getting more than what the opposing offlaner is getting.
Okay. And right now, he's doing a good job of, you know, allowing himself to stay in this one. Gets a couple of denies there onto Mickey, and you can see in mid, they're keeping that constant pressure on as well onto the bear. And potentially, you're going to be able to kick Mickey out of this lane once you get up to 6 on mind control. As over to the side, Kuro makes the move over, able to snipe a courier, looking for a kill, but the battle ensuing, Taiga gonna bring him down. Now can just head on back home, happy as a clam. Well, that was not what we were anticipating seeing there, but nonetheless, the pressure being mounted again down bottom. The Cursed Crown to try and stop this, coming up from Insania, and they will be able to force them off yet again.
A lot of pressure coming in from mind control, and what's this resulting in is, even though the lane is going quite a lot better than I thought it would, GH is still having to buy souls for his offlaner. You can see Potom has 300 gold on the opposing 4. A lot of this is just how much magical damage there is onto this Timbersaw.
Right. And being able to find a kill along the way helps also, as Taiga is going to actually take out that large camp you can see over in the triangle there, as well as get the stack off. So focusing on making sure this Potom has a good game.
Smoke from GH here. Miracle feels like he has a little timing here. He has Laguna Blade, he has and Quickfoot. Where's his bear?
That is a good question. Did it just die?
It might have just died. I mean, Miracle is very high EXP, so I could have seen that happening. And they're smoking up. They know he has no bear, so he's vulnerable here.
Oh, the scan, though. They recognize. But Quakefoot still needs to be careful. All right, he has 10 seconds until the resummon. If they can manage to find a kill, like, as the resummon happens too, that just ends his game. But you can see Quakefoot playing very, very safe right here. Gets the resummon now. Is he going to stick around? Drops down the ward. They spot him. And it looks like there's going to be content with the farming. And that also means Boxy up top getting gone on here. Forced to TP out. It's away on very low HP.
He does have a solve. Actually, okay, so he uses a solve. Murata's getting the stacks up for Axe. So I think Boxy, he has some comeback potential. Timbersaw, he's not quite the same. I mean, recently he has been doing a lot of Ancient stacks specifically, but they don't have any of those on the Enigma side. And I actually forgot, when I was talking about the net worth of Dark Willow and Palm, this is actually with Dark Willow having First Blood, right? Like, this would be even worse. At least because of that First Blood. Again, a little bit of result of that from Insania, who's getting gone on now.
They go on trying to find a kill, and it looks like with the root and the rundown, they will be able to finish that one off. GH still has Shadow Realm, switches over into it. A little bit of an outplay there, and TP out afterwards. So a nice kill, and then immediately able to get out of there. He baited that the whole time. Oh, and look at this Kuro up top. He's stealing the stacks with the Wild Wing.
And Taiga, he TP bottom, so he's not able to get here. Oh, okay, Koikva, luckily, he scouts this out. That's a big deal.
Is it going to go down in time? I mean, he's taking a lot of the creeps. Look at it all.
They are getting a lot, but Koikva is getting a lot of EXP from it, and with the root there, they should be good.
Oh, and Kuro takes back over the other help here now, and it's going to steal away the rest of them. Man, you got to be pissed if you're Liquid right there. Looking for the arrow kill onto it, or just the last hit? Yeah, and they will clean it up. But Kuro, will he pay for his crimes? Gets a little bit of stealing in, but Koikva eventually brings him down, and now they're going for LTW with Boxy here. He doesn't have Vanguard yet, but they're still going underneath the tower, and LTW cuts a path away. Oh, blinks onto Boxy. Looks for the call, not going to be on the mark. So Liquid can't punish ILTW, and him staying around this area, getting this XP, it's not terrible, but if they can get this tower down, this is huge for Liquid.
Yeah, and good evasive moves coming in from ILTW there. We did see Miracle take the big hard camp stack in his triangle during that, so he is very farmed on Alina. However, you know, Kuroko, he died there. They still got some of the stack on Liquid, but he did make a lot of space for Lina. Now look at this space. It's being turned into some pressure mid.
Right. Insania has been able to get to level 5 before 10 minutes. Arrow goes out, connects onto GH. Cursed Crown already used, and the stuns, it will be enough as Miracle makes the move in to find that kill. This does give some time for the top tier 1 tower to go down. So the rotation over, ILTW going to attempt a deny here, most likely. And it looks like he should... Well, no, Quakeva runs in. Gets the last hit.
Oh, they got Mickey though. They're going on.
Whoa.
I don't know if they have enough.
Down bottom, Timbersaw's moving as well, sidesteps the Chakram, and now the turn onto Kuro, tries to bring him down. Will it be enough? Yes. But now, can they finish off Mickey? He's out of mana. Timber Chain's through, he's so low, but the Chakram goes out. And that will find the kill on the Luna. Mind Control attempting to run, Chain's a little short. And so he ends up falling. So 3 for 1 in the end, but it was a big one.
Yeah, I think anytime you play a fast farmer like Luna, it's a counterintuitive because you lose a lot of farm speed, but you're actually really happy if you die for the boys because your team will get so much stronger that they will buy you enough time to just be that fast farmer. Because Mickey made this one play where it leads to 3 kills for his team, he feels very comfortable just AFK farming until he has his full timing, you know, some Manta, Dragonlance, some BKB, whatever he wants. He's already done his job.
Right, and he's going to be that much faster too. You can see Mickey held off on building the Morbid Mask because he got that Possessed Mask instead. So he's just going straight into the Dragonlance.
Oh, that's some big acceleration coming in.
Yeah, such a great feeling,
Boxy's
I'm
setting
sure.
up on... No, I mean, Boxy is a Vanguard. You can't really touch this hero right now with Nigma's heroes unless you have Timber or Lina rotate. But Miracle, he's very focused on just finding his own farm this game. He's going for the same build he did his previous 2 Lina games, just a Boots of Travel into BKB. He's really just gonna farm it up. I mean, he's 1,000 above everyone else in the game and hit a big timing here. Ooh, good snipe by Korkva.
Well done, well done. And you can see Boxy getting gone on a little bit again, but you know this is a PA with the Ring of Health and Kuro, and you can see by that last stat that we had, this is one of the first games that LTW's had in a while on the PA, and his first so far for Nigma, as they're going to try and rotate up here. They have level 6 on Sania, level 6 on Taiga, and does ILTW want to stick around? Nah, he's going to back out. So heads up. Play there, Nigma recognizing that inherent danger and will retreat. But at least now, I mean, this to me feels like the next logical choice would be to try and take the mid tier 1 from Nigma since Liquid's already lost their tier 1.
I think so, especially with the lone druid lineup. Their lineup is a bit awkward. I think it has a bit to do with last picking your position 5. That always ends up in like sort of a less... Wait, the dragon just killed Insania's courier because they Moonlight Shadowed when they aggroed it. That's a really weird interaction, unfortunately there. But anyways, your lineup is always slightly less robust when you go for sort of unorthodox picking order, something that's not standard. There's a reason why there are defaults and standards in terms of drafts or even play. It's because if something breaks that, usually you can just go and have an advantage. Viper is a pretty good 5 to last pick. I mean, he probably should have won the lane harder, and he does have huge impact with the Nether Tox in this game against PA, even some Lina and Enchantress. But I'm sort of curious to see how that will turn out.
Okay. Well, we'll keep our eyes on it for sure. And in the meantime, you can see a lot of drawings being made right now, as the call is maybe they want to get something done up in the top lane here. But 1,000 gold lead for Nigma. It's been pretty free. Over the last couple of minutes, it just feels like Nigma have free reign over everywhere. The fact that LTW has been able to just AFK farm top is kind of wild.
And Mind Control, coming into what I think should be the hardest lane for Timbersaw in the game. Like, literally, if I craft heroes just to counter Timbersaw, this is the lane I would pick.
Right.
He's managed to take over the enemy safe lane tower. He's 3rd in net worth in the game. He's ahead of LTW even. He's having a great game on Timbersaw. Absolutely. The thing is, Viper counters Timbersaw in the lane as a 5, but later on, Mind Control is going to kill him with pure damage and just slows don't do anything.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be a really big problem for sure. As we see the just level 10, like nobody is around him at all. He's got the pipe done. We're what? How far away is this now? 600 gold from getting a Battle Fury, and it just really doesn't feel like there's any pressure that's being mounted at all by Liquid. But they have to wait, I guess, for their item timings and Boxy to get that Blink Dagger. He's what, around 800 gold away from it now?
And I think a lot of this is a late Vanguard Blink for an offlane Axe, I think. He's the lowest net worth core in the game, and a lot of this is because of that play made earlier by Kuroki. They were supposed to give that 4x hardcamp stack to Axe. He would have been accelerated, which would have let him get this early Blink Dagger, and then Liquid could have made moves. As it is right now, like, who's making the moves on Team Liquid? You have PA going Battle Fury, he almost has it on Nigma. You have Lina just farming up everything on the map, and Timbersaw, he can't die right now. They don't have any plays right now.
Boxy Seeing if he can do something in this Moonlight Shadow, but you can see Mind Control has already backed away. They're just doing such a good job of reading the map right now.
It's a hard read. Like LTW, he's even going into the corner of the map to farm lane creeps as a hard carry. This is usually forbidden territory to like cross maybe like this line once you, even further closer to tier 2. Like once your hard carry, once your tier 1 has died, you can't cross that line because the enemy usually has control over your side of the jungle and they'll just kill you. But because of the hard read they made, maybe a ward identifying where the heroes are, I'm not too sure what they saw, he's able to get that additional farm and put tower pressure on top.
Very impressive.
Look at how clumped Liquid's heroes are right now. They're all within their own jungle, basically. No one is pushing in top. They managed to get bot lane out together, but there's pressure coming in top just from one GH, and they don't feel like they have any plays right now.
Well, and to be honest, it feels kind of like they're right. Miracle does have a regen rune now, and he's working towards that BKB. Man, he is so farmed. 2,000 gold lead. Over the last couple of minutes, it's been a slight acceleration. There is still going to be this timing that we'll see eventually from Team Liquid, as you can see that they're giving Boxy as much farm as they possibly can. They get the Blink Dagger done. If they can find a pick now, they're grouping together as 4. It could be a little telegraph. Mickey is showing in the top lane, is going to back out afterwards. See where they decide to go.
Telegraphed or not, they have to make this play in order to get map control. Insania, he's read the map a little bit. For the smoke, he saved up 3 observer wards, and they're going to be ready to go here. He even passes an obs ward over to Axe so that Boxy can place the obs ward and jump at the same time. A little bit slow on the connection here, though.
Yeah, they're going to put it up on this high ground here, and, well, wait for their opportunity. Nobody's showing.
Like this should be read by Nigma. Like, all the lanes are in good positions.
But a wraparound.
That's your Blink Dagger timing. I mean, they need to get something out of this from Team Liquid. Otherwise, I don't know how they're going to push forward on the map.
An unfortunate series of events for Liquid is they weren't able to connect with that. Now, again, it's not all doom and gloom. They still have this strong timing for a while. Like, you know, you've got a Battle Fury PA on the other team, right? Like, this hero isn't going to be doing much for a long time, it feels like.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I agree. It's just, now Miracle, he's finished his BKB.
Yeah.
PA is going to farm really fast with Battle Fury. And I think most importantly, as soon as this Lotus Orb comes out, a lot of the damage from Team Liquid will be mitigated, specifically the Poison Hacks and Viper. But Team Liquid, they understand their timing. They sort of are in a bit of desperation mode. And if you think you're stronger than your opponent and you want to fight them, something you can do is you can just go to objective and force them to come fight you. So they're doing that with this Roshan.
Kuro drops down the ward, jump forward, call is there. Pulling them into this area. Oh, the Terrorize afterwards. It catches onto the Lone Druid, trying to bring down the Viper. Viper's dead. Oh, that's the Miracle BKB. That's huge. Mickey gets caught, gets potentially killed. Oh, they don't have vision. Trying to walk up high ground, seeing if he can regen up a little bit, but Miracle finds him. The huge call afterwards from Boxy. They needed that one. There was the buyback from Insania as they try and run them down one by one. The escape from Mind Control. Will it be enough? No. They take 2 in exchange for Mickey. Roche is still very, very low. Jump forward. Call comes out. Able to catch onto the 2 heroes. They bring them both down. Ultra kill for Boxy. It took him a while to get the blink, but when he got it, it mattered.
And honestly, Nigma, they're outplaying them on the map, but Liquid, they make this crucial decision. They force Nigma to come to them to fight, and Boxy, what perfect patience on the blink calls. He pokes the Enchantress to start the fight because he knows that if they just send Roshan, they're going to get feared, Timbersaul's going to go in, they're going to lose heroes just to get kited in the fight. But he pokes a hero to start the fight, resets, and waits for his moment. He got 2 to 3 man calls that fight. I didn't quite see, but I think again, like an ultra kill, and man, Liquid are straight back in it. They have the Aegis, they give it to Koikva because they think they might burst the Lone Druid, as Peter was mentioning on the panel. PA might be able to jump the real hero, and all the momentum is on their side.
There is something to be said as well for eventually getting, like, it's kind of been a bygone era seeing the Axe going for this blade mail, but if he gets this almost the entire game until like Satanic or something else comes out for ILTW, it's going to be a huge problem for him.
For sure. I think blade mail and Axe, it's honestly been sort of underrated at this point somehow because Mantis just become so popular. I really like this idea because he has 2 right-clicking cores on his team in Lone Druid and Leona. I don't think you can try to all right-click your opponent. You need someone to sort of go in, make the fight good, just like he did in the last Roshan engagement, and Blade Mail potentially is a lot better of an item for that. I also want to mention, I think ILTW, he needs to go for BKB this game. I like some BKB SMY Satanic. I don't think you can go for Desolator this game. We saw in the last fight, no one can really go in to tank for Lina. I mean, Timbersaw goes in, but it's not the same as a Tidehunter going in. That's Timbersaw's weakness as a hero. He doesn't control the enemies. If you have BKB on PA, you're jumping your opponents, you're creating space and giving like room for Miracle to hit with his 3 fiery soul stacks and even some DD. Like, I think that would be way stronger.
They are now ready to push up on top side here. Insania, or rather GH, so he's the Willow, but he's going to drop on down the Brambles there. And Tier 2 about to go down as they will have access now to this outpost. It was Insania that picked up the Aether Lens, actually. And you look at the next couple minutes, I mean, wants to get in range, make sure that he can get that onto those key heroes with the Viper Strike.
Okay. I mean, Nether Toxin is a very good spell this game, right? You have PA, even Lina, she doesn't have Fiery Soul stacks up, and Enchantress, so I can see it from that perspective. It's just, it's not an item I would ever really think of. I'm curious to see how his idea will play out in this game.
Well, in the meantime, Nigma able to take that bottom tier 2 tower. And we do have a little bit of a stalemate across the map. Neither team really wanting to fight each other. You still have Aegis for another, 2 minutes roughly for Quakeva. And has a resummon on the bear as well. They could try and keep the screws to him. I wouldn't mind seeing them just pressure this tier 2 here. Oh, jump forward! Catches the call there onto GH. In trouble, dead. Oh, Boxy, he's just a hunter.
And Boxy, despite his slow start, despite Kuroki slowing him down by taking those stacks, you know, he had a pretty late Vanguard blink. He's now gotten the last 5 kills for Team Liquid. And he has Blade Melt, and they're not done yet. They're smoking up. He knows he's strong.
Oh, Nigma, you got to be careful. Again, it was such good decisions and plays to dodge away from this fight early on. They find Kuro, though, up on that high ground. Able to catch, able to kill. But we're seeing the power of this lineup once they get those items and once they can actually force the fight. Liquid starting to do it here.
That was a blind jump, by the way.
Yeah.
His smoke popped, and it wasn't even like he went for on the ramp. He knew exactly where Kuroki was based on some weird triangulation between the smokes popping, and he jumped literally on top of it. It looked like he had map hacks, but it's really just smart play, and Boxy does this a lot. And again, they smoke up again. They're just chaining their plays.
Right, looking for him, jumps forward, finds the big one. That's Miracle. Gets caught by the arrow afterwards, misses the dunk, but gets the kill. And this is while tier 2 mid goes down. Nigma, they've got to be so careful right now because they basically haven't been able to bring ILTW to any fight yet. And he's going to push out this bottom lane. They can see that it's getting pressured. We'll see if they decide to go for him, but no. ILTW going to TP out. And, I mean, what's the play now for Nigma? Like, can you do anything besides dodge? They went for this Deso on PA, but it's really tough.
And they have the same read. They're smoking up here. I'm not too sure what the objective is.
Maybe just down in 30.
Yeah, if Liquid split up a bit here.
Looking for an opening. They are going to go onto the bear. And smoke still on these other heroes, GH and Kuro. But
they do have this great ward. Oh, psych!
Well, they did.
In the smoke, it doesn't really lead to anything because, again, as you're mentioning, they just don't really have a real timing at this point. You don't have BKB on PA against a Blade Mail Axe, you will legitimately die in one call. So you can never commit it, and you're basically just daggers. And Axe, he just has done such a good job. Like, he's countered GH, you know, you can't Shadow Realm against a call. And look, how did they have so many smokes?
I don't know,
they're just constantly smoking. I think they knew they couldn't do anything, but even when they couldn't do something, they're just constantly buying the smokes, getting them off cooldown. Insania was saving up that triple ward, and as soon as, you know, they hit their timing with the Blinker, something just snapped, and they're just go. Kill them, get map control, and man, it's looking strong right now.
Absolutely.
Insania's going for Travels next? This boy's a beast. He played that AA game triple rapier and said, I'm the core now.
This is what I'm doing. The other core, though, you got to watch out for Quakeva right now. AC done along with Desolator. Look at how quickly these buildings fall with Mickey there as well, continuing to punch away. They're going to hit that LSA, try and take down this bear. He has a resummon afterwards if they want to, but with the combination of Mickey and Quakeva, these buildings just don't stand a chance. They're dropping down one by one. They're going to have to go for the resummon here. Bear will end up dying. 300 gold going away. Mickey Waits for the creeps to come back in. Do they want to pull for any more? I mean, PA's not even here. LTW is just farming. He knows he can't fight yet.
They did get a little bit of compensation on the Enigma side just because LTW, he did a good play there. He understands that he can't fight without BKB. Okay, I'm just going to go steal the enemy ancients, TP to my own ancients, take the most efficient farm possible, and wait until I have that BKB. Enigma have to sack this Rax if LTW does not have this BKB right now. I mean, maybe they don't. It seems to look like they want to fight.
And this is a bold play. At least offer some resistance, but it's dangerous. Very dangerous. Bear still alive for a little bit here, but starting to get dropped down slightly. They keep that Rax alive. 130 HP. Do Liquid want to go back in? Oh, it's so tempting. These decisions that you got to make, because you want to keep that pressure on as Liquid, but if you overextend, you're going to get punished so hard.
Liquid has never thrown on high ground, so there's no PTSD from that there. I think what happened is, because Nigma positioned to fight like that, Liquid actually thought that LTW finished his BKB already. Because the timing would make sense. Like, it's 24 minutes, you went Battle Fury into BKB Desolator, you haven't died this game. It's very high percentage that he would have it there. If he did have his BKB, then like this fight could be really bad for them.
Right.
So they just go for the safer option. You know, Roshan spawning in 30 seconds. Insanity has Travel's Aether Lens on 5 position Viper, very pog. And yeah, it's like it's a mind game, right? Because Dota's a game of limited information. As a spectator, we can see, I think, 100% they should have taken that Rax. But I know that LTW doesn't have his BKB. Liquid had no idea about that.
So you see now the BKB done, and as you mentioned, Roche capable of responding now in 5 seconds. We'll see what the actual timing ends up being. But 12-6, a 4,000 gold lead. And this now, is this the moment that they want to go? You've got Lotus Orb, you've got that BKB, and they're hunting a little bit right now on the side of Nigma, or are they just going to keep on sitting back in their base? They have AC done too? Ooh, miracle.
That has to be their timing, right? They have 2 BKBs at AC. If you give up the second Roshan, you know, normally I'd say Viper takes a shard and just break high ground, but it's also very good on Luna. Lone Druid's already picked up his own. I think if you hit a timing when you're behind and you don't use it to get something on the map, you're fundamentally going to just fall more behind.
Right.
Because like in default status, the team that's ahead has more map control, which means they will get more gold. So if nothing happens, you're just falling further and further behind. So I'd like to see Nigma go for this fight. They have a smoke on GH, so they are thinking about it.
Oh, Moonlight Shadow, though. They're underneath this ward. ILTW, does he break on it? God, Blur is so good, but they're sending in the Bear first and foremost. Counter smoke now coming in. Bear is there. Smoke and a break. Mind control in the area. ILTW also revealed. Boxy looking for the jump. The call. He catches him. PA gets obliterated. Didn't stand a chance. Laguna Blade comes out, though. Miracle trying to make up for the failings of the rest of the team, but is it going to be enough? The right clicks come through. The fear is there. They find the finish. 3 dead in a moment. Oh, and they're looking for more now afterwards. GH trying to run away. Can't outrun that arrow as Liquid take down 4. And are going to go for the high ground. Boxy.
What a really unfortunate. I mean, you got your timing off. You have the BKB on PA, but BKB doesn't do anything.
If you're dead?
Instant stun, then you can't use it and dead.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit of positioning mistake from Nigma, to be honest. I think they should have kited up towards the Tinker ward so they had this vision coming in from the ward.
And look at this again, now. Like, it goes straight for it. They're trying to take down the tier 3 towers, take down they message towards the throne, and that got the buyback, but they still get a second lane of Rax.
Liquid making good decisions about high ground. They're backing up here, going for the Roshan. This is a new Liquid, not like the one we saw the other day. I'm actually very impressed with this decision. Just showing growth in these high stress like qualifiers and stuff is very important to like determine how well a team's going to do in said qualifiers, because it shows your ability to adapt to stuff. This decision from Liquid to just secure the win with the Roshan, I'm very happy with it.
And this is everything right now. This is absolutely everything, and unfortunately it has gone to Liquid. Nigma not able to get there in time. They wanted to contest the Roche. This smoke-up play, they were hoping to find it, but Roche spawn a little bit on the early side. Can they find anybody afterwards? This is such a hard fight right now. Although, Mickey on the low ground.
Items.
Oh,
he left the bat on scare.
Kuro picks it up, increasing net worth. Fine. Boxy has blink. They can go in. Has to jump out.
Nigma just picking up Liquid's items. There's a free cloak of flames. You know, dropping items, literally giving net worth to the enemy team.
Yeah, that's fine.
But honestly, like a good dodge from Liquid. That was Nigma's like chance to win this game, right? They're gonna have 2 lanes of pressure. Their only chance is really before Eclipse comes up, before they group up, while Luna's disassembling items to catch her off guard.
Hey, if you keep doing it, that's some good stuff. The problem is she has an MKB on Mickey now. And that one, I mean, I don't know if it's really going to end up mattering that much. She did get the extra gold, leaving Mind Breakers behind now too. Liquid, pick up the trash. What are you doing?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you look at these players in this game. They're all like 10, 11k players. Right. They're really good at Dota. But when you put in as much stress as TI qualifiers in, with as much as going on in the game of Dota, it's really easy to make these really small mistakes. It looks dumb to a spectator, but I guarantee you it happens all the time. Like, I'm way better than what I show in officials. That's all
fair.
I'm saying.
Perfect.
Like, all these players are. Like, if you can... Something I hear a lot is like, all we want to do is be able to play as if it's a pub. Like, right. I think almost every team has echoed that sentiment, because when you're relaxed, when you're playing a pub in your normal practice habitat, everything just feels so smooth. When the enemy is putting a lot of pressure on you, as, I mean, fighting Kuroki in a TI qualifier game for elimination would, in the series, it's not easy to make the same calm, rational decisions.
True enough. Well, at this point, Liquid have only been able to win the first game of a series one time, and that was earlier today against Chicken Fighters, but we'll see what ends up happening here as they get ready to go up high ground again with the Aegis in hand. They've got how long on this one now? Almost 3 minutes.
Yeah. And they're just waiting a little bit. Boxy just finished up his BKB. It's a big deal because they did pick up the Yule Scepter against Axe onto GH. Now if he calls anyone, he cannot be Yule Scepter to negate the Blade Mail, and they will just kill anyone he gets.
They also just get a DD rune now onto the bear. So Koikva brings that one on back, has the cheese on the bear afterwards, and looking to step high ground right now. Manta afterwards. Koikva right on top of that tier 3 tower. It is dropping rapidly. Throws out the Lucent Beams onto Kuro. Koikva bear backs out. Mickey steps forward. They keep that pressure on. And with creeps coming in the base, Nigma have to deal with that as well. This is such a hard hold. They got Catapult Wave coming in now as well. So the pressure starting to be mounted. What do they have? How can they take this fight? I mean, they're good at slowing this down, but it feels like an inevitability.
Yes, as long as you have this Aegis, which Liquid still have a minute and a half on, they can just slowly siege. We even saw the methodicalness? What? I don't even know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah, that's definitely a word.
The patience.
His bear is, the patience. Just a little bit. He TPs his bear home to heal. They're not rushing it. They understand that this game is won as long as they don't get 5-man wiped on high ground, which has never happened to them before. So I'm very impressed that they know this concept.
That's right.
But yeah,
they're learning.
They're really playing it nice and slow. Maybe honestly a bit too slow. This Aegis only has a minute left on it, Lyrical.
Well, we'll see. You've got just a tiny bit of time left. Nigma, at this point, the tier 3 tower, 1,000 HP left. Root is there. Brings her down. Okay, that's Aegis down, but they catch the big call there on a miracle. But the BKB gets off. The back away, ILTW tries to turn a Boxy. That is not a great hero to try and kill off. The right clicks coming through for Miracle. They kill Boxy. Dead for 80 seconds. And Insania now the next one to fall. So Nigma is streaming back a little bit here. What else can they find? Koikva tries to go for the TP out, and it looks like he will be able to complete it, but the bear is the one that falls after. So a nice combination comes out there for Nigma. They will keep Mickey alive.
And that was just Nigma being ready, right?
Yeah.
Constantly, whenever someone up came to the high ground, there's Brambos, you had Lina stun, and, Mickey, he pokes his head in. I wouldn't even say too far. It's just hard for him to walk in because that's one of Luna's problems. You just have low range. And they manage to get him. Boxy gets a really good call onto Lina. His Blade Mail is on against no BKB, once again from the Nigma-sided core. But because Luna's respawned for ages, they don't have enough follow-up. You see MC, he tanked the arrow for his president, Mr. Miracle.
Right.
And yeah, that was a convincing high ground hold. They didn't buy back anyone. No one died.
No, they were perfect in that one, and I think part of that too is we talked about this sort of unorthodox Lina build of going for the Salt Cuirass. That suddenly means that this Blade Mail does significantly less when you're only spamming out right clicks from Miracle. So good itemization. They've got some good answers as well. This like Solar Crest on Curl, all these things that you might need. But the question is, are they in too big of a hole now to climb themselves back out of it? I mean, PA going for Satanic next. Can ILTW carry this game for them?
I think 100% Nigma's heroes will outscale Liquid's heroes in the late game. Luna, surprisingly, because she wins a lot of games like this, is not a good 1v5 hero. She does not scale into the late game nearly as well as other carries because her only steroid is basically her fast farming speed. If you're 1v1ing a PA with Luna, Glaives is absolutely nothing for you. You will lose that 1v1 unless you're 1 or 2 items ahead, which Mickey has had for the majority of this game, but you're on a timer. She does pick up the spider legs, which extends that timer for some reason. I don't know why that's in the game, but eventually, like as soon as both the Satanics come out for the Enigma cores, it's looking a little sketchy. Axe's Blade Mill, it falls off if the enemy has Satanic. Lone Druid, I have no idea how the hero works, but I'm assuming he falls off a bit because he's like an early pusher. And again, Liquid, they still have time. It's not like they need to be panicked yet. They're up 13k. They should still be feeling good. But I think this next Roshan, it has to be their timing where they really want to end this game.
And I mean, we've all seen these Liquid games before. They can happen. So we'll see if it's another classic or if they can close this one out cleanly. You have, 50 seconds now until the next Roche. ILTW is, still pretty far away from having that full Satanic and also buyback on top of it, but kind of feels like
only 1,000 away.
Yeah.
So as soon as he gets his Satanic, if he's confident, he can sort of play a bit of frontline where he tanks the Axe Call, pops Satanic, because Axe Call is still like a 0.4 seconds. I think 0.4? It might be 0.3. I think it's 0.4 though. So you do have time to pop off your Satanic. And if he gets that off, I think as long as they block the arrow for him, he won't die. The other thing that I really like that Liquid is doing is how they're controlling the map. They picked up this gem on Taiga because they've identified that Nigma cannot fight them outside the base. Or if they do, they're going to win that fight. That means that you can purchase a gem of True Sight with relatively little risk of dropping it. And look at the map for Team Nigma right now. They have zero vision. They're all huddled in their base.
Yeah. Just catching one wave at a time and giving it to the heroes that feel like they need the most amount of farm. It does start to feel pretty bad. Mind Control, after having a bit of a good early game, has started to fall behind a little bit here, and I guess he's still actually above the Axe, but he's going for that sheep stick next, which can make a pretty significant difference as well. DD?
To be honest, I'm a bit surprised that they didn't give Viper, while they had full map control, he's a travel. I think he just farm his own jungle, get to something like Aeon Disc Shard, and he can just be the one sieging high ground.
Did you see his quick buy, by the way? Insane, he's prepping for that other game.
I mean, last game he had 3 rapiers, this time he wants 4.
That's fair. Roche, going to spawn now. Well, we'll see how this one goes. As I mean, Nigma, is there any way that they can know about this, really? Or contest? It's tough.
Okay, so it's really hard for them to walk on high ground. I think this Roshan is Liquids. They have a DD on Luna. They've been blessed by Gavin. They do it without losing any HP because it's just how Lone Druid functions as a hero. But this Aghanim's, I think they're going to give it to Luna here. I can't be too sure.
Yep, they do.
Yeah, so what this means is there's a new condition for breaking high ground. All you have to do is sort of smoke in, jumps on, and just drop the Aghanim's. You drop the, I don't know what you call it, I mean, it's just Eclipse. It doesn't change its name. But you drop that, you instantly burst on, and you sort of reset and wait for buybacks. Otherwise, you're just going to take the base while heroes are dead. Because, walk up the high ground, it hasn't been working for them.
I thought you were going to say something like, the Leviathan. That's the ship that Malik had in Taurus.
That's what I wanted to say if I was a bit more clever. But I said it and my brain just went blank, so... it happens.
That's true. You're catching up.
Another piece of garbage left on the ground by Mickey. He's pinged it this time, so Insania is going to come over and pick up that juicy Stormcrafter. Very nice this game against Dark Willow and Enchantress and even PA slow.
Absolutely. And now they're ready for another round of it. Daedalus done. No buyback for these heroes, but you don't need it if you have that Aegis. Unless things go really, really, really badly for Liquid, which we'll see if it goes wrong or not. Nigma, in the meantime, looking for some way to get this fight happening in their favor. ILTW will go out, push the wave for a second. You would love for them to go in and get the next tier of items, but obviously Nigma having no access to the jungle, they can't do that.
They haven't got a single tier 4 yet, and like how can they? Like maybe PA can blur out the base, but look at Liquid's wards. They're just on the camps, seeing if anyone tries to sneak out, they'll instantly kill their opponent.
Well, there they go, up towards high ground. Quakefa punching away. They use the glyph, nothing. Tower's just down, jump forward, good call. Is it going to be enough though? They bring him down. Miracle dead with no buyback. He didn't get anything off. Boxy pops the cheese, runs away. And now the bear going to fall, but Mickey, eyes on the prize, tearing them apart as they will lose the melee racks afterwards. Perfect execution coming out from Liquid as they find the man they needed to, get the kill, and now looking to close this one out. What more could you want?
And this is very clean play. A little bit of a departure from their performance in this TI qualifier. I'm really... Wait, what just happened?
He just kills Dark Willow with the glaives bouncing as they're going to set their sights on the tier 4 towers, looking for a wraparound there. They want to find the backlines. ILTW, good job, but the turn is there afterwards. Boxy, the man of the hour, making it happen, but GG is called, or not even yet. The Ancient just falls, and Liquid will win it.
I was actually... Did I mute some of the Enigma players? Like, they're really good banner response for most pro teams, but no, the Ancient just dies. I don't even think Enigma were looking at it, and just a really clean game coming out from Liquid. I gotta commend, like, specifically Boxy, right?
Yeah.
They weren't able to do anything, but Boxy picked up his Blink Dagger. The smoke doesn't go that well, but he perfectly teamfights into, like, picking off 3 more Enigma heroes and just snowballs the entire game for his team.
Perfect execution from him for sure. And it's one of those things too where like there's been so many questions, like he's coming back, is it going to be able to replicate the success that they had, showing that, you know, there's a reason they wanted to stick with him beyond just the friendship and means. This guy's a hell of a player. So for now we're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, the panel's going to break it all down. We'll see you then.
Does Miracle play Pango? He hasn't played it in a while.
I don't think he will play it, but other teams, you know, OG, whoever, right? If you're listening, you know, take that
if you're
for
listening,
free.
you want some advice, you know, call up Peter. He's available.
I'm available.
Easy advertising. We got the Terrorblade still banned out, of course. Slaughter as well. Do we want a super hard carry coming out from Team Liquid in this one, the Mickey hard carry, or is this the type of game where you would like to see them go for a faster lineup? Of course, LeShrek comes to mind.
Yes.
We're just pushing down towers really fast.
I've been talking about it a lot, but I'm still waiting for Bristleback to make an appearance. I feel like that hero is...
We saw him today.
Yeah, we did see him today.
Yeah?
I feel like he is... Well, that's fine. I feel like he is like the... I think Bristle mid is the counter to these ranged heroes that want to farm their triangle early in the game. Putting a Bristleback mid means he will most likely be the most farmed, if not the second most farmed hero on the map. And I think that because he's like level 8, level 9, when everyone else is level 6... if you have Vanguard or Hood, they're not going to be able to deal with you, and you can just walk into the enemy team's triangle and take that farm away from Luna, who, you know, picked this early, hopefully struggles in lane.
That's the SA Dota special. We were all about Broodmother for Bristleback for like a couple months in the SA games, and it felt like I was really surprised the hero didn't take off as much in other regions with how strong it looked, based off of the fact that like it abuses stacks, it can contest stacks early. These ranged heroes you're talking about, like Terrorblade tends to be, like, I guess, like single target focus, but the Luna is based, I would say, balanced around like AoE and stuff. So when you have this Bristleback, it kind of feels like she can't shoot through him unless she gets like the perfect eclipse.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
and if
Mars.
so, I was going to say, if the Bristleback goes Hood, then all of a sudden, like he's, you know, that Eternal Shroud item is also quite good on Bristleback, and that can help you deal with the Luna ult. I think Bristle is also like insanely good against Medusa for a lot of the same reasons, but this Luna and Medusa are sort of similar heroes to some extent.
Couple of stats on the Pango for Team Nigma, by the way. Miracle's never played it in a pro game. Mind Control's played it once, but that was in 2016, so I don't think we're going to see that. And now with the Mars picked up as well, that looks like that's going to be Mind Control's hero for this one.
I was wondering if they AA, but they banned the Void instead, so now it's kind of hard to make the AA work as Liquid. because I feel like that's like their best AA hero. Like there was that one specific game with Liquid where they picked AA and Void, and their core damage in the Chrono was really weak, and I didn't think it was gonna be good enough. I kind of felt like that was gonna be the problem, but they were so consistent and always hitting that because there's no force staff save, right? All the other games, people are just like saving from this AA blast with it, but the Chrono prevents that. So kind of a nice counter by Enigma to ban that out. And you asked for it last game, and now we'll have the Phoenix there, Peter.
I really like it. I feel like Broodmother, you can put this Phoenix on either lane, but I feel like Broodmother can be a very strong laner, and he can kind of carry Phoenix through the phase. And having Phoenix in the game now up against Tusk, Mars, and Luna, I feel like you're set, right? Like the Phoenix will even be good on lane against Tusk by slowing attack speed during tag team. Phoenix is sometimes a weak laner, but this game I think he'll do just fine. And I think this is a Kuro Hoodwink now, which we saw him play before, and I was not very impressed with. So liking what Liquid has going right now.
Yeah.
We're seeing this a lot versus the Broods. People seem to keep going back to this hero when it doesn't necessarily look like otherwise an amazing Hoodwink game, I feel. Like they're trying to like abuse the running through the trees or something. And at least it's a range versus the egg, but another Chaos Knight coming out now. I think our second so far now for Liquid.
Oh, so does this Brood play mid for Liquid?
I mean, it is a Koikfa
It's
Brood,
Koikfa,
most
but
likely.
we also know they are very, very willing to send Boxy mid. So
True.
that's the issue. Because then they can put the Mars mid. That might be part of their reasoning here, right?
Yeah. Well, you could even do Lina as a 5 position if you wanted to, if you're laning the CK with her. I think that's like the one thing that enables Lina 5. It's actually a strong laner in the safe lane if you have a stun. So a lot of flexibility for Liquid right now in their draft.
Yeah, or I guess even the AA still. They could make that work
you
too.
can pick a new 5, you can pick a new mid, you could pick a new offlaner, you could pick a new carry, right? Enigma probably has no idea what's coming at them.
Yeah, and a lot of the Insane heroes are still in. The Oracle's also there if they wanted like a single target save versus the Mars and the Tusk and even the Hoodwink, I guess. Like they tend to like kind of all stack everything on one hero, I feel.
Yeah, Oracle could work.
nullifies.
I also wouldn't mind the Abaddon too much either if you wanted to play that.
Yeah.
A lot of, dispelling those Hoodwink stuns, helping out with the spear stun. You can't really die to a Luna ult as Abaddon, right? You always get your ult off and survive.
So why do you think they chose Chaos Knight?
I think it's a good matchup versus Luna. You could sort of like overwhelm her with illusions, especially if you play like the offlane CK where maybe you end up getting an Aghanim Scepter at some point. I feel like Boxy might end up playing this hero. But either, whether Mickey or Boxy plays it, I would definitely look at Ags as a potential pickup. That item is very, very strong.
So that's what I'm wondering. And then what do you pair with it though? Do you think it matters or you just can be whatever?
I think you can do Lina, you could do Dark Willow, you could do...
Well, I guess I mean like the Ags pairing though. I'm trying to like remember what was like really busted because it used to be like obviously Ags with Luna, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I mean it's nice to have like another carry on your team to get like a good illusion, but I think just having the illusions in general is quite strong. Whether you use them to push or farm or just like cause complete chaos in the team fight, when CK is on your team, these illusions they all look like you can tell who they are, but when you're playing against it, sometimes it's a lot of illusions in a team fight. You might mess up your spells, and Team Liquid goes Pango, which is most likely for. Who knows?
Insane even plays it.
Mickey, CK, Koikfa Brood. I think we're gonna have a Boxy Pango in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, I like the Storm pick a lot.
Yeah.
This is a really good Storm game, but I also like Liquid's draft. So, for predictions, I'll take the ILTW Luna. He's been too good. The hero's OP.
ILTW Luna versus the Koikfa Brood. Trent, which way are you going?
Ooh, that's true. I guess the Luna is definitely drawing me in because LTW looks so good on it, and there's a reason why they prioritize it so heavily. But it's also a Koikfa Brood. Ooh, Koikfa could go if he goes the right items. All right, Koikfa's gonna get this. He'll get some like crazy anti-storm build or something and just like ruin their life. That's what I'm gonna opt for. But I really like this game. I think both drafts are very even. I'm not like super heavily leaning one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm personally hoping we're gonna get a game 3 between these two teams because it's always fun to watch them play some Dota. But we're gonna have to see how it's gonna play itself out in game number 2, and we're gonna see together with Lyrical and AUI.
Thank you so much again, Shiver and the panel, all you lovely folks out there watching this game as well. it's all on the line now for Enigma. You win this game, you have a chance to go to TI. You lose, it's done, it's over. Aoi, do you like the sort of last pick Storm, putting all of the hopes and dreams in a Miracle Storm Spirit? Are you feeling it?
I think Storm is a really good pick. And what's catching Storm this game? Maybe Boxy can actually go for Eos to set up for Taiga. Like some, swashbuckle into Eos and Taiga follows up. That I could see that working. But otherwise, it's a free Brood game, and most importantly for me, when you play against Broodmother, you need a hero who can jump and kill him. Because as we've seen in the Tundra games, it's awful to play against this hero if he can't die. He builds these tanky items now, it's not an easy kill, you need the hard stuns. Enigma, they're going for a smoke here. They do have Tuskar level 1, which is always scary, but ooh. A Boots Lina, you're not catching him.
Yeah, does probably scout out that there's a ward up there, so we're going to see that one taken away in a second, but they do manage to dodge that first smoke, and that should give Liquid a little bit more comfort, at least with these heroes along the top lane.
Oh, I thought they were going to give Miracle solo EXP for this Observer ward, but I guess, I see everything, but they actually had everyone in Fog, so I was confused by that. Boxy scouting them out again.
Oh.
Just hard to connect on this level 1, it seems.
Boxy hanging on to that point. And ooh, wait a minute now.
He timed it.
Swashbuckles away. Dude, are you kidding me? And now Boxy just goes down. I mean, that was some greed, but a really good play there by Mind Control to catch him. Really, really well done.
I need a little bit. I'm looking up how fast you move on Pangolier during Swashbuckle.
Okay.
So carry it for a bit.
All right, no problem. Let us know how good that was. For now, at least, that's the type of play they need.
You move at 2,000 range, and he got him instantly. And there's a cast animation in God's Rebuke, so you're basically predicting when Pangolier is going to use it, and that's huge. Now Miracle, this hero that we talked about, who can sort of take over the game, he has First Blood. This is going to change the matchup. I mean, Boxy doesn't even play mid, and he's against First Blood Miracle.
Definitely. It's also now, they're able to get 3 bounty runes off the back of that as well. So Boxy, he is going to get the lane shoved into him here a little bit by Miracle throughout the first round, but we'll see how this early going
what is this? This is 3 bounty runes, First Blood, double waved under tower on the first wave. Miracle, he is eating a little bit of tower ego here, but man, I would be very uncomfortable as Boxy.
Yeah, not necessarily what you want to see. The other side lanes, at least for the moment, though, we're going to see how well they're able to deal with this. Lina has so often just been an incredibly frustrating hero to deal with those LSs coming out, and obviously Broodmother in the later stages will be a big issue as Miracle keeps that pressure to Boxy. Very frustrating to play against.
So I wonder what Nigma's idea is, because I've noticed, GH goes to the safe lane pretty much every game now. It used to be it was Io and Elder Titan, but even on Tuskar, even all these heroes, he's always in the safe lane. It might be a little bit of pairing your melee cores with range supports and then melee supports with range cores. But it seems like it's almost just like a rule for them that they want GH in the safe lane, Curl in the off lane.
Yeah, it could be like a playstyle thing as well, right? Like maybe GH doesn't I feel like Mind Control because sometimes play a little bit more of a passive laning stage, and then try and sort of make the moves more around the mid game instead. That could be part of it as well, but it's something that we could ask them, and they probably won't tell us because it gives away strategy. But that's fine.
Courier Snipe.
Oh, GH able to connect on it. Or
rather,
Taiga connect on the GH.
For sure.
It's not too.
Right. That's fine.
As Kuro dropping down very low up there on the top side. Another LSA going to connect onto GH as Taiga does a little bit of a wraparound there, trying to stop this extra pressure coming in right there. It was maybe looking for a pull onto the double wave, but doesn't end up happening. So heads up play by Taiga as well as Quakefa to stop that from happening. Mid. Oh, brings him down really low. Looking for a kill. Fairy Fire used. Miracle has to be a little bit wary of that rotation coming from Taiga, but they do force over a rotation. Not bad at all.
Yeah, and Miracle, he's doing really poorly in this mid lane. He's missed 1 CS so far. Just really unfortunate for him. But yeah, now he forces a rotation. He's pressuring Boxy. He has a CS lead, and man, it's looking good for Miracle Storm this game.
You can see it's actually one of his worst heroes that he's played 10 times, but still, nonetheless, very, very strong. And to be honest, it's just Nigma wins so much that it kind of doesn't matter that much. There aren't that many heroes that he has that are under 50% win rate, most likely.
Yeah,
But,
this is Miracle. I mean, he won TI. He's been on the top scene forever, so most of his win rates are actually really high.
Yeah.
Storm being under 50%, I don't know if it's like a comfortability thing, maybe it's a team thing, but that's surprisingly low for a player like Miracle.
Well, nonetheless, we do have a nice bit of pressure here onto him constantly by the Pango as they get the pullback. Never mind. Boxy just dies. He just walked in and ate a remnant, gets killed.
Okay, so there's a 2-0 Storm free farm, and it's Miracle. He's 1,000 ahead of anyone on the enemy team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's problematic if you're Liquid, for sure.
Okay, so it's 2k gold up 4 minutes in. One of the biggest gold leads I think we've seen this early. All basically off the back of that level 1 first blood, snowballing the lanes. What Liquid do have going for them is they still have this Broodmother versus Luna matchup. I think we saw in the Tundra versus... Oh, they're going on to Koikva here, though.
Trying to see if they can get that finish. The tag team running away, but Koikva trying to escape, not going to happen.
All right,
Very
so
well done.
What they had going for them, it's going to be slowed down a bit more. Luna wins the lane versus Broodmother, but as soon as Broodmother gets level 6, you will kick Luna out of lane. You just have
And
no
look at this.
counterplay.
Boxy chased over again in the mid lane. Miracle got level 6, almost enough for the kill there, but can't quite bring him down. Are there any rotations to punish this? It doesn't look like it, and Miracle just going to stand there, not afraid of Boxy, and in fact, he has to jump away again. Boxy, no resources at all. He has to walk back home. My goodness.
I think Miracle's going to go back home as well, but first he pushed a wave into Boxy's tower.
Right.
So Boxy, his tower's taking damage, but more importantly, these juicy creeps are just dying for free. And it's not like when Boxy comes back, he has some timing. Like, Miracle's going to have full resources. Oh,
Spear, trying to find this kill, and the Bushwhack. It's more than enough. Mind Control will go down to Mickey, so heads up play there by Mickey to find the chance for a turnaround. What do you think about this build by Boxy, by the way? He's going 3 points into Shield Crash.
I have no idea. I didn't even see that. Maybe it's a better... Okay, so the reason why he's doing this build is if he uses Swashbuckle, Miracle will kill him.
Okay.
So this used to be a thing when Pangolier first came out, like before he received a lot of changes, where you would only use your Shield Crash to CS in lane, not your Swashbuckle.
All right.
So I think that's why. It is a skill that got buffed a lot. It's one of the best value points, but I've never actually seen this.
Very interesting.
I've seen Pangoliers go like 2-2-0 versus Linas and stuff, where they're only playing for the
Speaking
CS.
of Lina, down bottom, they're going for a quick kill there on the Taiga, able to get him. LTW tries to back away from Koikva, has the stick charge to back out, and now the Lucent Beam, the turn. Koikva, he's got to be careful. They have shards still. Thinking about throwing it out, waiting for the opening. Catches him, but not enough for it. Wait, goes back in. Oh, GH, does he get outplayed here? Snowball over to the creeps to try and go for the escape. Tower hit going to follow, but he has enough HP to live through that one. In the meantime, they managed to take down the Phoenix up top and now trying to turn to Mickey. Oh, he coin blades down the tree. Nicely done there, and the spear won't be enough for the finish. They're bringing in more heroes now to try and catch on the kill on ILTW and the LSA. It's going to connect. They take down the Luna, and that was during the TP.
Ooh, and this, there's been some plays bottom. Nigma have really been holding it together, getting a couple kills onto both the Lina and the Broodmother. But now, Luna's going to be gone from this lane for so long. No teleport score, as you mentioned. So Koifa, he's getting to that level 6. And again, as soon as he gets level 6, Luna cannot stand in lane versus him. They have to rotate Mind Control or Storm over to the lane, which makes your map just a lot more vulnerable.
True enough. And that's going to be something to watch for. Obviously, if you can find the punishment and kill Koikva at that point, everything's all good. But could be a little bit difficult there as... Miracle is still 2 levels up on Boxy.
He's
so when
4K
he comes,
net worth at 7 minutes.
He's doing really, really well.
He's doing alright.
Okay.
Honestly, this entire qualifiers, I think Miracle has been... they've been feeding him the good stuff, because he's like solo killed Thompson, he's won his lane pretty much every game I've seen, and he's beasting it.
Definitely. He's looking like Like,
Ooh,
if
and
not
a haste rune.
that's a good rune to get. Taiga was trying to get a little bit of rune control, but I mean, God, again, the top net worth in the game, solo kills twice, and now also he's getting rune control. Like this is
kills twice.
I mean,
the
I guess
first kill
that's
was
not true.
5 heroes, but honestly,
Maybe it wasn't solo kill.
Nah, I know what you meant. Like, it feels like with how much dominance he's put on mid, it's basically like, and again, like, look at Boxy. He gets a lucky disarm because I think he was
bottom,
dead there.
Looking for Taiga instead. LSA comes out.
Wait.
They managed to find that kill. Koikva turning on to GH with the Spider Army, but the arena comes down. They catch him, trying to bring down this Broodmother, and it looks like Koikva will fall. LTW with the double kill. That was much needed as they shut him down even further. This Broodmother struggling.
Yeah, and really good rotation coming in from Team Nigma here. Miracle is actually going on Boxy at the same time. I think he lived with 1 or 2 hits just because of that rain drop. And, you know, I was talking about some defensive option where you move Luna out of the lane. Nigma on the next level, they're like, you know what? Our Luna can't lane versus a Brood? Let's just kill the Broodmother. Problem solved. It's a much better play if you're not forced to do things that you don't want to in Dota. You always want more options. You always want to be in control of the tempo. Mars rotating bottom, easy double kill, that's good.
Bushwhack afterwards. Miracle finds himself a quick and easy pick off there on Insania. And we also have, I think, coming out on the courier for him, yes, indeed, it's going to be the Fairies Trinket. So getting the perfect neutral items. We'll see if they get a Possess Mask or not. But it looks like they're going to get that on the side of Liquid instead. So no Possess Mask for Nigma.
Ooh, they might die mind control here. He whiffed his spear. They've brought down Mickey.
A lot of heroes coming into that area. They pull him in, and they kill him off. So a good reaction by Liquid to make this play. And this is, you know, obviously the answer to bringing that Mars down there. Just bring overwhelming numbers by Liquid, and they're going to take the Tier 1 tower.
And that's a huge play, as you mentioned. You can sort of imagine your map. If Broodmother can't take that tower, sort of similar to the Beastmaster game we saw in OG versus Nigma, like, you don't get the same type of gameplay that you expect. I mean, OG still ended up winning that game, but Nigma really slowed them down here. They've read the map in the same way on Liquid, and they realize, okay, let's just bring our carry, bring everyone, bring the family, kick out this Mars who has no arena, take the tower.
And if they don't react to this, Koikva's going to start taking over a little bit more of this map. The entire jungle is gone, and Nigma are attempting to clear out this Tier 1 tower. They've got a catapult left, and it doesn't look like Liquid have any intention to defending it. Instead, they're going mid. So Miracle is here, half mana, tries to kill off the catapult, but it's punching the tower. Are they going to bring heroes to defend this? Oh, they're smoked up. Kuro, GH in the area, killing off this creep wave. Koikva shows for a second. Do they decide to go? Luna has Mask of Madness. And there's a chance for a jump now. Big jump. LSA trying to predict it. Almost got it. But they find a really nice stun coming in from Boxy. A little bit of a dodge for the moment, though. The back away. Tower's dead. And they get out. Liquid, knowing the limits and executing perfectly.
Yeah, and they understood that they could not defend their top tower. So what did they do instead? Like, do you know what's worth more than a top tower, Lyrical?
No, I don't. Please tell me.
It's you.
Oh my God,
I really like that line. I don't know why. Sorry, there's a chess streamer, YouTuber that says that a lot, and I find it really funny. But the mid tower is worth more. So despite Nigma, they chain in their plays. Liquid, they strike back. You know, they kill mind control bottom, get the tower, and chain it into their own mid tower push. Now they're ahead. Despite being 2k gold behind, they're ahead in terms of tower map control. And GH, he's
TPing out, trying to get away.
Chilling.
Makes it happen. Oh, they're chasing, though, down bottom. Mind control with Taiga and Mickey on the hunt. Can he find a way to juke himself out of here? Oh, my guy does a little juke. Little hideaway, little throw out there. Can he TP out? Doesn't have a TP. Goes back the other direction. Taiga didn't see him. Oh, and the roll in from downtown. Miracle coming to help his buddy. Gives him the tip afterwards. I got your back. Don't worry.
Those are some sick jukes. And Miracle, he gets this kill with the regen rune. Usually on Storm, when you go for these plays, you're like, I don't want to help my team. I just want to farm with my mana. Miracle, picking up that rune with the good rune control coming out from Nigma can do both. And they can chain into smoke because look at Miracle. He's full resources.
Thinking about this kill now. Watch out for Mickey. They're looking for the opening. Get him with that pullback. Can anybody get here to help him in time? No. ILTW appreciating what he's seen out of Miracle. And Miracle goes into the Spider Army as They will respect the strength. I mean, again, everything that he could possibly need this game, it feels like it's been given to him. And trying to carry this game for the rest of Nigma. And this is all space for LTW to farm.
Yeah, and both the cores on Nigma, they've done so many correct things, and it's just resulted in this huge net worth differential. The lead is 4k, but most importantly for Team Nigma, the lead is on the two heroes you would want to gold on the most. Gold is not like this. Gold is not worth the same on every hero in Dota,
Right.
and you want a lot of it on your cores, and it's just perfect for Team Nigma here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, we'll see if they can keep up that momentum. Liquid, obviously, still, they've taken down objectives. They have this spider that is an absolute menace going now towards that pipe that we've seen so often. But it does sort of have the feeling like, oh my goodness, they just killed all those spiders. That is, I mean, still not that much gold if we're going to be honest. The brood spiders, I feel like, should give a little bit more than that.
I think so too, but most importantly, when you kill those spiders, it's not about the gold and EXP you get, it's the fact that Brood has to reset her map control. Because it's similar to Chen, right? You have to rebuild up your army. If Brood has spiders there, perhaps they can take a fight to contest bot rune. Instead, Miracle, he picks up another haste rune. I mean, because he's so dominant mid, he's also gotten pretty much every rune this game, which is what allows him to be so active. I mean, he's 5-0